Black Entertainment Television presents Black College Football. And today, in a key Southwestern Athletic Conference matchup from Legion Field in Birmingham, it's the Alabama State Hornets taking on the Bulldogs of Alabama A&M. A beautiful 80-degree day here in Alabama. Perfect day for football, and we have a perfect game for you. Over 50,000 fans are expected to jam their way into Legion Field for the 59th Magic City Classic. Hello, everybody. I'm George Johnson. On December 2nd, the Southwestern Athletic Conference will hold its second annual championship game. It'll pit the best team from the Eastern Division taking on the best from the Western Division. We may be able to settle the Eastern Division championship right here. You see, Alabama State comes in. They are 4-0 in conference play. And if indeed they get the victory, they clinch their division. But Alabama A&M has other ideas. The Bulldogs, with just one loss in conference play, if they get the victory, they move closer to the championship and move the Hornets a little bit back. I'm joined in this broadcast booth by the former quarterback for the Howard University Bison, Jay Walker. And Jay, when you talk about Alabama State, this is a quarterback's dream. I mean, they love to throw the football. They're #1 in Division I AA in total offense, and it's all led by Darnell Kennedy.
Oh, definitely. This is a Magic City Classic. He is the best magician in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Strength for him, he's already thrown for 2,400 yards this season, 22 touchdowns, more importantly, only 11 interceptions. Offensively, you do no better than you can here at Alabama State. They're the best offense in the SWAC, tops in the nation. Struggling has been on the defensive side of the football. They need Chris Daniels, their star linebacker, to come up with a big game. We know the offense can score, but the key will be how well can the defense defend.
Also joining us in the booth is the former all-pro offensive lineman of the Dallas Cowboys, Nate Newton. When you talk about Alabama A&M, this was a team that used to love to pound the football inside, but they've opened things up, and the reason they're able to do so is because of their wideout, Kenyon Hambrick.
Kenyon Hambrick is a big receiver. He's 6'2", 190. He's real smooth. He's had 3 100-yard games this season, but the thing about him is a clutch receiver. Look for him to make the big play if the game is close at the end.
Talk about big plays. Alabama State likes to make the big play. They like to throw the ball, which means that puts pressure on the defensive secondary, and Brandon Reed's got to step it up.
Brandon Reed is a smooth cornerback. He transferred from Auburn. He's a great kid. He's a solid cornerback, but more importantly, he's a return man, so he can make things happen when he gets the football in his hand. Look for great things from Brandon.
Alabama State head coach L.C. Cole has won conference titles the last 2 seasons at Tennessee State in the Ohio Valley Conference. He's in his first year at Alabama State after feeling it was time to move on, and now his Hornets, who were 1-3 in conference play last year, are in position for a title. Standing in his way, Ron Cooper, who is 0-2 against Coach Cole in his career. Can he snap the string? We'll see next here on BET. Today's Black College Football Classic is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines brings freedom to the net with affordable fares and frequent flights. Log on for low fares at www.southwest.com. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of e-freedom. And by AutoZone, the more than 2,800 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone. Back to Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, where, as I said, they're going to jam-pack their way in here for this 59th annual Magic City Classic. Alabama State taking on Alabama A&M. As you take a look at our series update, and Alabama State leads this series 33 wins, 28 losses, 3 ties. One of the most intense rivalries in all of college football. And you can see last season, it was Alabama A&M winning by 5. You saw that here on Black Entertainment Television. And the Bulldogs had 399 yards of total offense, and the Hornets 169. But believe me, folks, it's going to be a lot different in this ball game. As we said at the top of the show, Alabama State comes into this game the top offense in the SWAC. They average 32 points per game, and they're throwing the football for 390 yards per game. That is #1 in the nation. As you see, Alabama A&M, who won the toss, they will receive the football. Eric Moore again in the booth with us, our statistician. And he's already on my case, making sure that I am right. And that's exactly what we have him here for. There you see the starting quarterback for Alabama A&M. That's Calvin Robinson. Robinson is a senior making his first start since the Grambling game, September 16th. In that ball game, he threw an interception that the Tigers returned for a touchdown. Ron Cooper said to us yesterday, did not like the fact that he threw that big interception, and after that kind of fell out of favor with me. But last week, he would key his club to a come-from-behind win, and it was actually 2 weeks ago, against Morris Brown, and he earned himself a starting spot. There are some of the other particulars of this game, and Nate Newton talked about Brandon Reed. That's your defensive back, and he's going to be one of your deep backs for the kickoff. Alabama State coming in 5-2, 4-0 in conference play, while Alabama A&M is 4-3, but most importantly, 2-1 in conference play.
And I think one of the key things we're going to see here early on is what the Alabama State defense, which is the suspect, which is the question mark of the game today, what they're going to do against the Alabama A&M offense.
Well, I think the Alabama A&M offense truly has to run the ball. They have to really concentrate on moving the ball on the ground, controlling the rhythm of the game, and keeping things at a low-scoring end, because if it turns into a shootout, Alabama State looks to be victorious.
And I would think, you know, seeing that the Alabama State defense only has one player that's over 250 pounds, the running game would be the key here. Nate, what would you do if you had 250-pound linemen in your face all day long?
Hey, only passing play it would be for me is a draw, because everything else would be off tackle and up the middle.
See, I thought he already has had 250-pound linemen in his face all day.
He made it look like the way when he played, didn't he?
I was okay, you know. I did it for the money.
So we're ready to start things off. Alabama State kicking off. Hambrick and Reed are your deep backs, but this one is going to be a short kick and a fair catch, which you are allowed to do in the college ranks. So Alabama A&M will take over 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, and they'll be keyed by this guy right here, Calvin Robinson, as we said, the senior from Mobile, Alabama. His back's behind him, and boy, he's got a couple of weapons to choose from. Curtis Danielle is the running back. DeVoris Nunn is your other running back, and sometimes they'll bring in Marvin Strong to help things out. Offensive line, and a good one, Rogers, Turner, Emerson, and Ron Wilson. And you're talking about some guys that aren't necessarily the biggest guys in football, but real tough. And we can't even get our first play underway.
One thing we
and
talked
Jay's
about.
jumping in with a penalty already.
I mean, you know, before we get into it, we got to let everybody know these are the 2 most penalized teams in the SWAC. And what do we get on the very first play? A penalty.
And then when you got little guys in your defense that's quick and trying to use the snap count, they have to be intelligent when they're going to jump that snap count, because you don't want to just give up unnecessary plays like that. It's 1st and what, 5 now?
5.
Brandon Somerville is the center. Number 63 they made the call on, and getting the first carry of the ball game is Curtis Donnell, the junior from Mobile, Alabama. Let's take a look at the defense for the Hornets of Alabama State. Freddie Parker. And the interior line, it's really sort of a 34. You'll see the ends out there. Marquay Smith and Parker are more linebackers than anything. Chris Daniels is the guy you better keep your eye on. Guy makes big hits. Donnell, the second play of the ball game, takes it out to the 40-yard line. That's good enough for a first down. The secondary for Alabama State, Richard Rowe, the sophomore from Selma, Alabama, and Roger Cade are your corners. And the Sanders, no relations. No relations are your safeties. 1st and 10, ball at the 40. And a big-time carry right there. Good for first down yardage by Marvin Strong. We said Strong would come into the ball game. For Nunn or Donnell, they really like their running game.
Yeah, I like what A&M is doing. They know that the Alabama State defense is more quick than it is strong. They're going to try and slow down that speed a little bit by going no huddle, leaning on them a little bit, running the ball to the big back.
We love that. More quick than strong, carried by Marvin Strong. So now they are in Alabama State territory, and Robinson decides to keep it.
Busted play.
And this is where you see an Alabama State defense convert, because It looked like to me he came out, he was looking for another option, but he had to keep it because someone went the wrong way. And this guy and their defense just converged all over him.
This quarterback never goes the wrong way.
Sorry to interrupt. This defense, though, has allowed 412 yards per game. That's 7th in the conference. Not very good. So though Alabama State can put points on the board, they do allow big yardage. Ball marked at the 42-yard line. 2nd down. Robinson looking downfield and almost intercepted.
A little razzle-dazzle early on, maybe trying to neutralize some of that speed again that we talked about. Get the defense going one direction, try and throw the ball another direction.
Had great protection by that offensive line there. Rogers, the left tackle, look for him to be playing on Sundays. The coach says he has a great future, great feet. All you got to do is learn how to keep them knees bent, and he'll be all right.
Pass was intended for Hambrick, who's 3rd in the conference in receptions, but it was incomplete, making it a 3rd down and 8. Robinson going to Hambrick again. Hambrick shakes 2 tacklers and gets a 1st down. Great move. If he hadn't made it, they wouldn't have the 1st down.
Definitely. When he caught the ball, he was about 3 yards short of the 1st down. He did a good job of realizing where the markers were, how many yards he needed to get a 1st down. You see here the quarterback take a drop back. He'll make the catch here, and immediately he's hit right away. Strong running. Look at those feet moving. Kept his feet turning, took a lick, got a 1st down for Alabama A&M. A crucial 1st down, if I might add, on 3rd and 8, because now they are in field goal range.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. I formation behind Robinson. Cruz, his tight end in motion. Gives it to the deep back, and he's got a hole. He's at the 5. See you later. Touchdown, Curtis Darnell.
As you know, Curtis Darnell won the last 2 MVPs here at the Classic, and he's making a great move today to do it again. We had a great pull on that offensive line, a great pull block by one of your guards there to make a great play to open this hole up. As we see right here, number 53 gets around, turns up, hits the linebacker. He cuts across field, makes a great run. Number 53, Jonathan Woodward, 6'3", 270, good right guard, pull up behind your left guard, made a nice block. 73 and 78 on the play side, made crushing blocks to make this thing happen.
And to attempt the point after, Rashad Kyler, and Kyler's kick is up and good. He is now 15 of 21 on point after attempts on the season. And with that, Alabama A&M just like that. And boy, it didn't take long, folks. 12:33 left here in the 1st quarter, and already the Bulldogs on top by 7. This club strikes early. You see just a couple of minutes off the clock, and already his Bulldogs lead 7-0 here at the 59th annual Magic City Classic. One of the biggest classics in all of black college football. It ranks up there with some of the best, and folks still filing in as you take a look at our scoring drive. 7 plays, 73 yards.
That was definitely a set-the-tempo drive.
He started off running and doing nice things with the pass.
McKibbins and Swain are back deep to receive the kick. And great defensive coverage by Alabama A&M on the tackle. McKibbins takes it out to about the 14-yard line. So now coming onto the field is Darnell Kennedy with the inside track of becoming the SWAC Player of the Year. He has been simply amazing, completing 56% of his passes coming in. As running backs, Andre Ward has been solid. Sager loves to punish you. There's his receivers, Watson Taylor and Lamar Benson. But they will throw 6, 7, 8 different receivers at you, which means that Phillip Lee and Terrence Brumfield, 2 huge offensive tackles, and Nate loves looking at those huge offensive tackles.
And these 2 guys here are pro prospects, truly.
Kennedy looking downfield and nobody there. And there's an example of how they like to run offensively. There was no one in the backfield with Kennedy, and they will blitz him with no protection. We take a look at the defense applying that pressure. Dawson, Carr, Severn Cannon, and Robert Mathis having a tremendous year, the sophomore from Huntsville. Chappelle, Jamal Ware, and Danielle Fisher are your linebackers. Brandon Reed, the cornerback, keep your eye on him. Henry Freeman has also been solid, and Brian Johnson, folks, has just quietly done an unbelievable job. We'll talk about that as the game progresses. 2nd down and 10. Kennedy over the middle. Pass incomplete. It was intended for Charlie Rollins. Coverage made by Henry Freeman.
And one of the key things that the Alabama State offense has to do is stay on their schedule. What I mean by that is they've got scripted offense. Their first 19 plays in this game are scripted. If you come out and go 0 for 3, then, at what point does the script go out the window? We'll find out here. I'm sure in that script it couldn't have been 3rd.
It goes definitely out the window if Robert Mathis has his way. He's a great rusher. He knows how to get to the pass, and they're going to try to make this kid throw pinpoint passes today.
And they're going to try to apply some pressure, bring some linebackers, make sure they flush him out of the pocket, which is what they did on that play right there. Cooper's defense coming up large, forcing a 4th and 10 situation.
And more importantly, a 3 and out. So right now, the defense of Alabama State has to be saying, weren't we just out there? So that makes you think about it. As a defensive player, you really don't like when the offense only gives you 3 plays and punt.
Hey, what's bad for the state is good for the Bulldogs, baby.
So now back to punt the football will be David Beckford, the best punter in the SWAC, I would feel safe to say, averaging 45 yards per punt. His longest punt this year, folks, 70.
Whoa. But that's a strong win, or he just got that leg strength?
He'll take it.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
You saw that coming because Alabama A&M was set up for the punt, and Alabama State was still on the sideline.
They're a little confused. When you got a high-powered offense like Alabama State is, they used to get into a rhythm, as Jay was saying earlier, and the Bulldogs has knocked that rhythm just a touch.
So the ball is moved back now to the 9-yard line. And we've got movement, offensive linemen, and once again, we're going to start talking about penalties. Alabama State coming in averaging 13 penalties a game. How does that translate?
Poor field position for your offense, and unfortunately, they have an offense that can overcome it. But the bigger the game, the bigger the magnitude of the game, the more important getting less and less penalties it becomes an issue.
Dead ball, and when you offside for defense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Alabama State gave him 5. Alabama A&M gave him 5 right back.
You see L.C. Cole in his first year at Alabama State. You see 750 yards in penalty over the season. I mean, that's 107 yards per game that they lose because of penalties. You can't be happy with that. So here's Beckford finally getting a punt off. Line drive. Hambrick is going to field it at the 34-yard line. Looking for a seam. And he's brought down at about the 42. So make that an 8-yard return on the kick. 11:55 left here in our first quarter. 53-yard punt by Beckford. We'll have more after this.
The stadium knew they had to go deep. On 3rd down, you go for the deep shot. If they catch it, it's intercepted. It's better than a punt because you would pin your opponent inside the 10-yard line. Great one-handed grab in between 2 defenders. And what we say in football, that's something you just can't teach. That's called go get it.
Well, right there, they rushed only 3. They were in a prevent defense. Number one, I just run my regular defense and make them beat me otherwise. Because when you do this prevent stuff like this, hey, you just set it up for a quick 3 or a long 6.
So here's Donnell
touchdown
on the carry. And the Bulldogs have stretched the lead to 13.
And he just handed it to Darnell behind Kendrick Rogers and Chance Turner, and he just dove over.
And for Donnell, that's his 6th touchdown.
Right here, we
of the
just
season.
right in behind the 2 big guys. Your left guard and your left tackle, Rogers and Turner. Just easy as pie, baby. Slice it down the middle and take as much as you want.
Oh yeah, he smells something now. He knows there's an MVP trophy that goes along with these touchdowns. If he can continue to score at that pace, he's got a real good chance.
Kyler's kick is good. How about this, folks? Alabama A&M, who came in and were considered the underdogs, are playing more like the Bulldogs as they lead this one by 14 with 1:42 left. 9th anniversary this year, and that means that what they do is they go out and they have the big tailgate parties. Boy, look at that grub right there. You know, I didn't want Nate to see this because I knew if Nate had seen that.
Easy, big fella, easy.
If Nate had seen
Get
that.
back here, Nate. You can't go down there.
Look at him, man. I almost left him, man. You see that big old, but they killing my folks. You saw that hog, man?
Pork and more pork.
They can't be killing up the hog, man. Come on now. Come on.
on now. Let's send Joe to go grab a couple of those ribs and bring them up here. Can we get that to go?
Hey, man, they had enough for us to go, come back, and get some more and go. You look at your scoring drive, 13 plays, 80 yards, but the big play, obviously, was that 46-yard pass to Torrey Day that took it inside the 5.
Torrey Day made a great play. You know what? Hey, it could be Torrey's day. Oh, that's kind of corny. Let me get away with that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It's BET, baby.
Damian Swain is your deep back, and he's going to try to take it out 3 yards deep. Gets it to the 20. And takes it out to about the 32-yard line, so a 35-yard return. Good field position for the Hornets, and they desperately need good field position as they trail in this one by 14.
What's wrong with this picture?
To not just anybody, but Joe Clair.
Now check this out. Now y'all see it's all getting crunk and everything. Now they wanted me to let y'all know that this is the first time that somebody scored first in this entire season. But y'all don't know we got no limit soldiers out here. It's cash money millionaires out here. We got the beauty. I wish y'all could be here. Everybody at home, you know how it is at a black college football game. The Joe is right here. The real football game right here. Y'all missing it. Back to y'all. Go watch the rest. Go on.
Hey, Joe, what is crunk?
Crunk, something new that you don't know about because that's not your generation. Don't worry about that.
What about,
Yeah, that's still real. That's still real.
All right. Charlie Rollins on the wide receiver option. It seemed as if they passed it behind the line of scrimmage, and his job was to look downfield for Kenny Watson.
Yeah, but that play doesn't work if you throw the ball out of bounds. As good as a receiver can be, you can't catch a ball outside of bounds.
But you got to notice that the Bulldogs are blitzing every down. They're bringing somebody, whether it's outside or inside, they're bringing someone every down.
Kennedy has thrown 22 touchdown passes this year, but 11 interceptions.
Yep. And they're going to have an illegal substitution here. The guy left out on the huddle. It's probably going to be 3rd and 15.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And Nate, this goes back to what you talk about. Alabama State's having a difficult time getting their rhythm. They're the passing team. 3rd and 15s aren't easily convertible. You know, they're out of rhythm right now, putting pressure on the quarterback.
I don't care if it's Pop 1, college, or high school. You got to play on offense with some consistency and some efficiency.
That 44% rate to go down if they don't get with it.
Not bad at all. And they do convert another 3rd down situation. Pass was complete to Charlie Rollins.
Shows you what I know.
And you know a lot, but you know when you got a big play offense, anything can happen.
At any given time.
At any given Saturday.
And I like what the quarterback does here. He buys himself a little bit of time. Hey, you can blitz me. You better guess the right side. Throws good on the run. That is one of his strengths. What the coaching staff said about Kennedy is that he's a tremendous passer on the run. He's not a scrambler. He's scrambling just so he can get a pass off.
Rollins picks up 42 yards on the play, and on 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, Kennedy's pass is incomplete.
And guess who was covering him real sweet to the inside, took away the slant? My man, Brandon Reed.
Does Brandon have the tools, and he's just a sophomore, but do you see him with the ability to play at that next level?
You know, Adam Swider play a lot of cup man-to-man. So when you play a lot of man-to-man, you always have opportunity to look at the next level.
True.
To just peep at it. It's not promised, just to peep.
Watch the blitz. They're going to go top.
All anybody can ask. They sure were. I mean, Eric Chappelle had his eyes set on Kennedy, and good thing a whistle came.
Yesterday when me and...
Dead ball. False start. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yesterday was Saturday morning. Me and Jay went out to get a bite to eat, and we picked up this newspaper, and they had this great quarterback in there, you know, and this certain coach on the opposite team was pubbing him strong. Ron Cooper was giving Darnell Kennedy a lot of pub, saying he's a great quarterback, he's the best he's seen, and he coached guys like Charlie Batch.
Well, he's averaging 346 yards passing a game, and that would stand against anybody, but that pass incomplete, so now it's 3rd down and 15, and we'll have to see if he can get that ball downfield. Good coverage defensively. And you look at Chappelle right there. Eric is a transfer from Notre Dame, a guy that they think plays the blitz real well, but they have no problem moving him back at the free safety. He'll fill in there and also play some linebacker.
And one of the things that the transfer students that come to Alabama State, I know from firsthand experience, most of the guys that play Division I are great zone coverage corners, but they're not great man-to-man corners.
3rd down and 15 for Kennedy. Chappelle coming again. Lofts this one up. Looking downfield for his receiver, Rollins. And real good coverage that time. Jamal Ware getting back there. And Ware's listed as a linebacker. And we've got a flag back in the backfield.
It's going to be against Alabama A&M.
On red, illegal helmet contact. 15-yard penalty. First down.
We talked about Chappelle, and it's him coming up with the penalty.
Yeah. You know, you got to stay off the face mask, and you never do that. Never. I'm getting a little upset up here now. Oh, you don't touch a quarterback in his head.
Maybe that's why he's a transfer from Notre Dame. They weren't standing for that type play.
Yeah, you never hit a quarterback in the head. You're not supposed to do that.
That wasn't a very smart move, and believe me, when he gets to the sideline, Coach will talk to him.
How about our official for the evening? I like that one. We got a blow to the head on the red.
Right.
Ryman. 6'5", 230 is Chappelle, the senior from Montgomery, Alabama. The faux pas now gives Alabama State 1st and 10, and they complete the pass. Pass was completed to number 16, Julius Harvey.
Brian Johnson came up and made the tackle. 6'8", 6 foot, 180, junior.
Ken Watson did a good job there, not letting the first guy take him down. Keep your feet going. You know, your team needs you. You got to get into the end zone. You smell the end zone. That extra little push and cover the ball once you realize you're not going to make it to the end zone. 32 receptions on the year, 16-yard average. He can play. They kind of do wide receiver by committee here. And, you know, they've been successful with one football to go around. Normally you have that many guys, you don't have that many catches.
But when you're playing a rivalry like this, over the years, the team with the worst record seems to win.
This time they hand it off inside to Andre Ward, and Ward picks up about 4 yards on the play.
You know, they can't get conservative here. They've been down here in the red zone before. You know, and they started running the football. You're not going to beat Alabama A&M running the football. Don't even try.
Cannon.
On the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So another penalty assessed to Alabama A&M.
Alabama A&M said to themselves, hey, we can't win this by 14 zip. We got a BET game going here. We got to keep this thing close. So they don't want to play right now, so we'll give them a touchdown.
This game here, this will be the first game where you'll have more penalties than points in the first half. To keep going at this pace.
Mostly the yards.
And now they're down at the 4-yard line, Alabama State, knocking on the door. But you remember, they were knocking on the door before, but had a field goal blocked. See if they can now convert in the 6 as they trail by 14 and a whistle again. And we come to the end of the first quarter. And with that, Alabama A&M with their backs against the wall, but holding on to a 14-0 lead. Calvin Robinson, Curtis Donnell have them rolling. Coming in, Alabama State looking for the win. A victory would clinch the Eastern Division of the SWAC. The ball was batted in the air a couple of times, and Kevin Taylor makes the catch, but flags all over the place. This one won't count as we start the second quarter. Alabama State, as I said, came in 4-0 in conference play. A win secures the Eastern Division for L.C. Cole and his club, but they trail 14-0 after a first quarter that saw the Bulldogs.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, your first down.
Bulldogs take control.
As you see right here, your center, your right guard, and your right tackle, everybody moved before time. It just cost us a touchdown. Not us, excuse me. It cost them a touchdown. I have no favorite this week. 2 weeks ago, I did have a favorite. It was FAMU, and they got slaughtered on BET.
Marcus Autry was your big man, along with Lloyd Carlton on that offensive line movement. Kennedy regroups after a bad snap, throws it in the end zone, and a nice play right there by Chappelle.
Yeah, Chappelle, what a play. Clearly beat. He was clearly beat.
First quarter stats brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Alabama A&M with 8 first downs. Passing yardage goes to Alabama State. We figured that would be the point, but look at the rushing yards, gentlemen.
86 yards against a team that was averaging only giving up 50 per game. It's safe to say that they're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage right now.
And that's what we
as linemen this week.
Well,
not
saying we
Rattlers,
linemen, yes.
Okay.
Y'all excuse me.
We'll give you a pass.
TV land. But the line, I love both lines. That's Bama, Dogs, and Hornets. I gotta give it up, man. I gotta give this up.
Second down on the 9. You better not go anywhere. We need you for another 3 quarters. And Kennedy is converged on by several Bulldogs as he loses more yards. Jermaine Mobley leading the way.
The run is not happening. The run is just not happening.
I think this is going to be a trick play, a little fake, a little play action pass. The running back hit the ball out the quarterback's hands, and that ended up throwing the whole play off. You know, they just can't find a rhythm right now. They're moving the ball, you know, for 40 yards at a time, but they can't punch it in. And, you know, 14-0, not looking for a field goal. They end up with a field goal here, they'll be very disappointed. I'm sure Coach Cole is concerned.
3 receivers split to the left. 1 to the right. Kennedy looking over the middle. Pass was caught. Great catch. Touchdown. Alabama State. Kenny Watson.
Shoes coming off and everything. He's just making the play. He could have been crunched, but he got skinny. He got skinny and made the reception.
Yeah. Kennedy drops back and throws this pass. He zings it in there. 2 guys with a chance at it. Watson says, not today, it's me. Oh, thank you. I'm that good. I owe you one. I've been there. I've been there before.
23rd touchdown pass for Darnell Kennedy on the season. And for Kenny Watson, that's his 3rd touchdown reception. So Lefevre will come in to attempt the point after. Try to cut this Bulldog lead to 7. And Watson says, you mean another call?
Coach Cole has to like that. 14-7. Now he can outwork 14-6. An extra point to come, maybe it'll be 14-7. Gives you a little bit of momentum. Now your defense will be a little bit more enthused to go out there, try and get a stop and get the ball back in the hands of offense. And you swag possible play of the year.
Beaver's kick is up and it is good. So it is now 14-7. Alabama A&M, Alabama State coming back, driving the ball 69 yards downfield, and it culminates in this Ken Watson touchdown reception. We're at Legion Field here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's the 59th Magic City Classic between Alabama State and Alabama A&M. As you take a look at the scoring drive, 11 plays, 69 yards. And they talk a lot about how Alabama State is one of those quick strike offenses. But you look at a drive like that, and that would suggest that they're doing some different things and not trying to go for the home run ball right away.
I would say out of that 2 minutes and 23 seconds they spent, probably a minute and a half was in the red zone when they fumbled the ball and ran the ball around a couple times.
Good kickoff, and this time Reed will say, no, I'm not going to run this one out. I'm going to down it. So Alabama A&M will get the football out at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, after the state touchdown. As I said, both teams coming off that bye week. Alabama State's last ball game had an easy time against Prairie View A&M, winning 51-21. As for Alabama A&M, their last win was an overtime victory over Morris Brown.
That powerhouse of the South.
A&M said, though, you know, in their defense, they said, listen, Morris Brown gets up for us every game we play them, and it was homecoming for them. So here's Robinson on 1st and 10.
Good protection.
Absolutely. Had time to step up, has receiver, finds him! And a great play right there, getting it downfield, and making the catch was Dondra Holcomb.
As you notice, all the offensive linemen are running down. They're pumped up. They know they can get off the field in maybe 5 or less plays.
And if you're offensive lineman, you deserve credit for that bomb there. You give a quarterback this much time, something big is going to happen. You just can't cover somebody that long. Robinson with a good arm strength, a good flick of the wrist. I mean, look how wide open this guy is. put it over there, over the safety. Good catch. Lost his balance a little bit. He got a little excited. This is the Magic City Classic. You got to score that.
But you know what? That's what you call he was whined out.
Yeah.
Holcomb picks up 55 yards on the play. First and 10 at the 25-yard line. Robinson steps up, loses the football.
Alabama State recovers.
And State gets the football. Robert Malone pounces on the loose ball. The transfer from Auburn.
I wondered if someone hit that or did they bump off his knee.
One of the things they tell you, if you're going to step up, he drops back, they have a blitz. A great step up in the pocket here. He just didn't tuck it. He was trying to tuck the ball away. It was a good read. He needed to step up. He drops back. He'll take a look and see if we can see some contact. I don't think there was. Yeah, looks like there was a hand there.
The DB there hit it.
If so, that was good. Did he get his hand in there? So good coaching, good hustle by the defense.
Good hustle. The good alert by Robert Malone made a great play there.
So Malone recovers the fumble that gives the Hornets the football back as they trail by 7. 13-24 left in the first half.
Don't be surprised if you see Alabama State take a deep shot here right away. Because typically what a lot of coaches feel is it's a turnover. You know, we weren't supposed to have the ball anyway. Let's go ahead and try and get a deep bomb for a quick score touchdown. Completely shift the momentum.
They got 4 receivers here, 4 receivers set.
No blitzing.
2 split on either side of Kennedy. The single set back is Ware.
Comes the blitz.
Throws this one over the middle and a good defensive play that time for Alabama A&M as Dornathius Jackson comes up and knocks it loose.
It's a nice name, Dornathius Jackson.
Sounds like royalty a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Probably the objective.
And that's knowing your scout report by Dornathius Jackson. He knows they're blitzing. Typically, if there's going to be a blitz, a quarterback's going to get rid of the ball quickly. And he knew it might be a short route they were running.
Ball's marked at the 28-yard line, 2nd down and 10. This time the out pattern is complete to Rollins. But Ware and Reed there very quickly.
Nice hit on the quarterback by Marquay Smith. I mean, the quarterback just got it away when he popped him in the middle of his back.
So he picked up a yard on that play. It'll be 3rd down and 9. And I know you talked about going deep right now. And yet, is Kennedy, does he look a little tentative? I mean, does he look like
that they're struggling? What Alabama A&M is doing, they're showing them a blitz look and they're pulling it back. Then we're blitzing. They're doing a little bit of everything, and they're double covering the receiver.
Kennedy delivers this one, and nothing doing. In and out of the hands of his receiver, but credit defensively, Henry Freeman with coming up and making the big hit.
Crosser route here, threw it just slightly behind him. Freeman did a good job of letting them know where he was. Anytime a receiver goes in the air like that, you're going to be exposed to a hit.
Right there, he's supposed to come up big. What most wide receiver coaches would say on this play here, son, come up big. And he didn't. The safety came up big.
You played with a guy that was famous for coming up big, and Michael Irvin. Have you ever seen anybody come as big as he does?
Oh, Mike was sweet. You know, another Florida product, that is.
You just really won't mess with me, don't you?
You know, guys coming out of Florida tends to be a little more athletic.
Now, I'm from California.
Right. I mean, y'all 3rd, 2nd behind Texas. Something similar to that.
Holding was called on that play, and you saw Ron Cooper decline the penalty, so it'll make it 4th down, a punting situation, and going back to receive the punt is Hambrick.
We haven't called his name much today. Look for him to try and make something happen here. Get a little antsy. Big-time player wants to make a big return.
Right. He is a clutch player.
Mr. Foot, David Beckford, going to punt the football.
He should have room to run, Mr. Hambrick.
That one was almost blocked. They may have gotten a piece of it. It bounces at the 33 and
that's what you call it.
Back at the 35. So I guess that had nothing to do with anybody on that punt right there. A 36-yard punt for Beckford. 1st and 10 for Alabama A&M when we come back. And yet it's been the Bulldogs defense that's been coming up large.
Definitely so. And you see here, they're keeping pressure on the quarterback, reacting on the football, blocking kicks, special teams, playing a good, solid game all the way around. Pressure again, recovery speed by Eric Chappelle there again. They've done a good job. Oh, yeah, and it's in Magic City. He's excited about it.
He's excited. He wants that MVP.
High formation for Alabama A&M as they give it to the up back, Marvin Strong. Strong picks up about 5 yards on the play.
It was a nice run there, but the quarterback tripped coming up out of it on a reverse give to the running back, and that could have slowed Strong down from making more yards than he did there.
Strong averages 4 yards a carry, almost 5 actually. Longest run of the year, 27 yards. They go now with a single back formation, and this is what's new about Alabama A&M. They want to open it up. Past couple of years, Ron Cooper kept the ball on the ground, would pound it inside, and they do go inside, but they had 4 receivers in the set. This time, though, they give it inside to Donnell, and Donnell is about a yard shy of a first down.
And it's good to see Coach Cooper getting back to the game plan. You know, he got involved in a little bit of a shootout, throwing the deep pass, but he knows in order to win this football game, he's going to have to run the ball against the Alabama State defense. Good to see him getting back to that. Now we're looking at 3rd and 2, set up by all runs.
You have those big horses up front. Don't let them stray away from what they're supposed to be doing. That's falling on people, running over people, smashing people, and making things happen.
High formation. Robinson looked like he was trying to run the option, and credit Alabama State, most notably Robert Malone, with coming up and closing the door on that.
Yeah, one of the things you don't want to do is run an option against a blitz. That guy's got a lot of momentum coming at you. You don't have the time to react as if he's getting blocked.
But they had one more man than they could block in that situation there.
So Shug will come back out on the field to punt the football. He's averaging 37 yards per punt, 6th best in the SWAC. His longest is 63 yards. Back deep to receive it is Charlie Rollins. Rollins standing inside the 30-yard line. Takes this one at the 21-yard line. Never called for the fair catch, and everyone kind of stood around and watched it.
Yeah, because of the penalty that was called earlier. He's got to work on that one a little bit. We'll be back to Alabama.
And welcome back to Birmingham, where Alabama State with the football trailing by 7, looking for big yardage on 1st and 10. Pass was intended for Rollins, incomplete. And Kennedy now, just 6 of 18 throwing the football for 102 yards.
And you have to give credit to the A&M defense. They are really disrupting his rhythm. He hasn't found a good rhythm yet. He hasn't thrown, by good rhythm I mean, he hasn't thrown 2 consecutive good passes yet. He's hit a couple nice passes, but no consecutive passes back to back. When he's in a rhythm, you'll know.
Kennedy last year was a preseason all-SWAC selection at quarterback, but then after 2 games, broke his foot, required surgery, and missed the whole season. He's back this year rejuvenated. Here he is on the run, whipping a pass that is knocked down. Pass was intended for Watson. Brandon Reed defensively is there.
Once again, making plays. The players will show up. I noticed even when they throw deep balls to his side, he will break off of his receiver and attack the ball. That is a guy looking to make something happen.
Well, he makes things happen. Reed coming in has 5 interceptions on the season, and that leads the SWAC.
2 against Morehouse 2 weeks ago. That powerhouse of the South.
Reed is cousins, actually, with number 47, Henry Freeman. And the talk is that those 2 are competing against each other to see who has the most interceptions by season's end. 3rd down situation, pass was too high, intended for Watson.
Yeah, you know, they're putting people in the quarterback's face, giving them pressure all the time, coming from all angles. He's a little confused right now. He's not necessarily seeing the defense the way he should. They're doing a good job of confusing him. And, you know, he still hasn't found that rhythm yet. He will. That's one of the things, a good thing about it, it's something you can correct at halftime as long as you make it to halftime without being down by 28 points.
And right now, they should feel
on the offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
And that guy you just saw right there is the leading candidate for MVP of this game.
The ref,
his 15th penalty, he's got my vote.
Right now,
hasn't missed a play yet.
Alabama State should feel fortunate at this point because with all the penalties, they're only down by 7.
Absolutely. But now they've got to kick the football back to Alabama A&M, and Hambrick is deep to receive the punt. He's standing at his 33-yard line.
The last punt was almost blocked, so they got to be careful.
Good air up under that.
Hambrick takes it at the 22-yard line. Looking to get to the outside. Does. If he can get past that last wall, he would have had more yards, but knocked out of bounds after a 54-yard punt. Returns it for 14 yards. It'll be 1st and 10. Alabama A&M with the football and 9:51 left when we get back to Legion Field. Birmingham, Alabama. George Johnson along with Jay Walker, Nate Newton, and Joe Clare. And we take a look at Alabama A&M. They opened up the game very quickly with a touchdown. Curtis Darnell running it in from 32 yards out. Darnell then 2 possessions later got a 2-yard touchdown dive that put his club up 14-0. But then Alabama State came right back, got 7 of their own, and now trail by 7. As you see Johnny Cole, the offensive coordinator of this team,
talking to his troops. We got to open it up. Fellas, this is what we're doing wrong here. Getting ready for this next series. They got to score some more points before the half is over with.
2nd down and 9 for Alabama A&M. Robinson looking to get to the outside. Good defense. If he can beat this crew, now he's got blocking and he's got some room. And a great play defensively right there by number 55, Marquay Smith. Because, I mean, he went through a couple of blockers to make that tackle.
He ran about 55 yards. I think he just got tired.
Hey, you know, he had a convoy. He had some Mack trucks out in front of him, man. He said, forget this. I'm going to gas up. You fellas go head on.
Yeah, he just got a little tired there. Good pursuit by the Alabama State defense. Good recovery. We got a penalty on the play.
You know, you start running back, those quarterbacks start scrambling all back to when.
On the defense, 10-yard penalty to the previous spot. 1st down.
What are you offensive linemen thinking when your quarterback's going one way and then he's turning around, he's coming back the other way?
He's good for one way, and he's good for another way. But the third way is going to be all his way.
So a penalty against Alabama State. Holding gives the Bulldogs 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And Robinson looking for the fade for Hambrick. Hambrick, and good defensive play out there by Alabama State. Coming up to make the play was Damian Swain. And Swain is one of those athletes who plays on both sides of the football.
And he made a great play on the ball here. This is a good pass. This is good defense. Turn around so they don't call pass interference on you. Get your hand on the ball. Wow. Wide receiver almost made an even better play. Kenyon does a good job of concentrating on this, and he almost came down with that ball.
That's one thing about it, boy. Football is a game of inches.
Hambrick, who already has 7 touchdown receptions on the season. Good pressure by the Hornets as they closed in on Robinson quickly, and this pass was behind Hambrick.
So Alabama State's defense is starting to blitz, put a little more pressure, try to turn the momentum of the game. They just bring it from all outside. Mostly, if I was Alabama A&M, I would get back to my running game and get inside with Darnell, with Curtis Darnell.
Yeah, I think Al Walker and the boys took offense earlier when they saw how much time they were giving the quarterback and they got beat for those big plays.
Hambrick coming into the ball game averaging just about 7 receptions a game, and yet he's been held without a reception so far in this ball game with 8:29 left in the first half. 3rd down and 10. Robinson, and he one-hops it to Hambrick, who made the catch, but
after the bounce, he was open.
Legal, but it was a good scoop.
This is not rugby. One hops, don't get it. You can't run after one hops. You have to throw it through the air.
So Shug will come back onto the field to punt for the Bulldogs. And Alabama State will send Rollins back to return. By the way, Charlie Rollins has been a solid return man all year long for Alabama State. Standing back at his 18-yard line. Shug's kick makes a bounce, and a great job by the Bulldogs, who down it down at the 3-yard line. Shug has done an unbelievable job all year long. punting the football. Coming in, 18 of his 46 punts were inside the 20-yard line. Make that 19 punts now on the season after the 47-yard effort. And you take a look now at our AutoZone take charge play of the ball game. And the pass from Darnell Kennedy to his wide receiver Kenny Watson. The only points on the board for Alabama State. Today's take charge play has been brought to you by AutoZone. The more than 2,800 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. 8:13 left here in the first half. The Bulldogs lead 14-7. The Hornets have the football, but boy, they're deep in their own territory.
With a great punt.
This Magic City Classic are two of the three newest members of the SWAC. Alabama State came into the league in 1982. Alabama A&M's first year as a full SWAC member was 1999. That third newcomer is Arkansas Pine Bluff. But we have two of the three newest members here in this football game. And Alabama A&M, who I said came in 99, has the lead by 7. But State looking to try to mount some kind of drive and get back in this thing. 8 minutes left here in our first half. And another flag thrown. And we'll check on the penalty. And they're waving it off, so first down, ball at the 3.
From deep in Alabama State territory, you might add.
Should be a run here just to try to move the ball out and get some space to throw, but well, wrong one.
Here's Kennedy. Kennedy completes the pass to Watson. And let's send it down to the field, Joe Clare.
1, 2, 3. That's right. See, who said that the black man don't take care of his kids? See, I done found all my children to take care of. No, I'm just playing. We down here on the field with some little brothers and sisters who are out here enjoying the game. Y'all having a good time? Yeah! That's right, baby. This is what it's all about. Back up to y'all up top, man.
Joe, I knew you've been busy. I know you've been that busy. Here's Kennedy, keeping the football and holding on to it. And surprising even Jay Walker up here on the option play.
Keeping him honest a little bit. You know, he's a good athlete, multi-dimensional. You know, he's figured, hey, if I'm sitting here in the pocket, you're just teeing off on me. Let me show you what I'll do if you give me an opportunity to run the ball.
Yeah, I remember back in the day you used to like to tuck it a little bit, get to the outside.
And who was he? He's the 1994 Player of the Year.
Second down and 2. And they give it to Ward. And Alabama A&M says nothing doing this. Jamal Ware is there for the tackle. Ware.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. 6'1", 215 junior. Sam linebacker, that's your strong side backer, just making plays.
In fact, they talked about the fact that they wanted to move him to the inside. He hadn't played there all year long, but feel that he's aggressive enough to play that inside backer spot.
Hey, the best player, put him at the mic so he can play both sides of the field.
In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Pass was intended for number 26, Michael Sager, who they call Savage. Big fullback. Yeah, that's what they say.
And that's why he's a fullback.
Must be a punishment blocker, huh? Must be a
punishment blocker.
2 receptions coming in on the game.
That's why he's a fullback. I know a little something.
Man, he must, but you know, did his pops naming that from the old movie Savage?
No,
you know,
I'm thinking the boys gave him
the boys gave him that. Okay, all right.
So Hambrick goes back deep to receive the punt. Standing at the 32-yard line. 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Hambrick waiting, drops the football. And Alabama State may have recovered it.
Yes, they
did. A big-time break. Demetrius Vaughn is the guy who recovered the fumble by Kenyon Hambrick on the punt.
The one thing the Alabama A&M offense or special teams unit cannot afford to do was give the ball back. We know that Alabama State has not found their rhythm, but you give them the football right here on the 30-yard line, right around the 33-yard line, they're going to hurt you. You just might have started running before he caught the football, which everybody's guilty of doing every now and then, but you got to learn from that. You got to catch the ball first, then try and run.
Big-time break for Alabama State, who were deep in their own territory, looked pretty bad, looked pretty bleak because they had to punt inside their 10-yard line, but they get the football back at the 32 of Alabama A&M after the fumble by Kenyon Hambrook.
And all these momentum changes, boy, they're going to make you lightheaded around here. So.
And if you look at that, that's almost like a drive. I mean, they start off with this ball on the 1-yard line, and it's almost like they drove it to the 30 right now.
Layup game, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I notice a lot of times that the Hornets like to huddle with the coaching staff prior to coming out on the field. And are the officials sending a message to the sideline of Alabama State by saying, listen, delaying the game, get out here on the field and get this thing moving?
Only if it's within the rules. I mean, coach likes to give them something to think about, maybe a couple of plays that may look good in certain situations. So that's just our cold-blooded regular routine.
First and 15 after the penalty. I formation. And we're wondering, is this another
illegal shift? Possibly.
Penalty against the Hornets. Still have 6:23 left here in the first half.
Coach is on the field doing something. What is it? What is it? What seems to be the problem there?
He's got a nice little stride.
He got a nice little stride, but it's like he's having a heart attack or something, and can't nobody get it together but him.
Well, that's Ron Cooper, the head coach of Alabama A&M, who was the head coach at Eastern Michigan and the head coach at Louisville, and before coming here. And
he grew up on the grounds of the Alabama Bulldogs yard.
Yes, he did. His parents both worked at Alabama A&M. So you could say he's come home. Kennedy's pass on 1st and 15 was too high for his intended receiver. Brian Johnson, number 7, backed on coverage. I talk about Brian Johnson because when you talk about Alabama A&M, you can get caught up talking about the Brandon Reeds and the Robert Mathises and the Eric Chappelles. But Brian Johnson is the leading tackler on this club. He also has several tackles for a loss, has a sack, leads the team in pass breakups. He's extremely active, number 7, for Alabama A&M.
He's not a very big guy. He's 6 feet, 180 junior, but, you know, a lot of times football is a lot of want to. Do you want to make the play? Do you want to get there and be the man? And this guy here seems like he does.
Kennedy on 2nd and 15. His pass is incomplete. Thrown to the sideline. Intended for Johnson.
And I don't understand that they keep trying Brandon Reed, and he's getting closer and closer to making a big play.
It's funny because against Morris Brown a couple of weeks ago when he had the 2 interceptions you talked about, I read somewhere where he said after the game, he goes, they must not have been watching the film.
Definitely. I mean, he celebrates a little bit after every play. I don't know on this level of college, can you celebrate as much as Brandon Reed is celebrating?
Wait a minute, you're from Florida, and you know y'all celebrate after every play.
We have to. We have to.
3rd down and 15. Kennedy, 2 receivers split on either side. And he threw that one rather quickly, and he had to. The pressure was on.
He's getting up off the turf right now. They got to do a little bit better job protecting the quarterback. He's got to get on the same page with the receiver. Somebody was supposed to adjust and run a hot route there. He knows the blitz is coming. He knows he's going to get shellacked.
Jay,
not about 1, but 2.
When is it a good time to throw the ball away and either take the hit? Because right there, it seemed like he almost threw a pick.
Well, you obviously always want to take the sack before you take the interception. You know, it depends on who your coach is. You know, one of the things Joe Paterno was always saying, telling his quarterbacks, don't get sacked. I don't care what happens, just don't get sacked.
Right.
Coaches hate sacks more than anything else outside of an interception. So it's kind of, you want the lesser of 2 evils. If you get sacked, at least you can punt the ball off.
Mac Hampton was the guy who applied the pressure on Kennedy. So now here we go with a 4th down and 15. 6 minutes left here in our first half. And it looks as if Alabama State is discussing whether they should go for the fourth down situation.
Well, think about how they got the ball in the first place. They got it on a punt where the guy fumbled the punt, so they're continuing their drive on. Basically, this is where, if Alabama A&M gets the football right now, it's where they would have got the ball hadn't Kendrick fumbled the football.
Well, if the Hornets look at their stat sheet, they'll see that they've converted 58% of their fourth down opportunities.
Right.
So they've shown that they have the ability to get it done.
And also think, the coaching staff over at Alabama State, they're getting a little antsy. This is a team that, averages over 40 points a game, and they're only at 7 right now. So, they want to get those weapons out, and they want to try and send a message as well.
Well, if I'm coaching the Alabama Bulldogs at this point, I'm keeping everything in front of me. I'm coming up, making the play only if it's there. Nothing out of whack. Don't do anything silly. Don't jump off sides. Don't hold anybody. And they can get the ball back in a nice situation.
Well, they kind of squashed all of what we've been talking about because they bring David Beckford on the field to punt the football anyway.
And A&M has nobody back to return.
So this is going against the grain of Alabama State and punting the ball this close down on the other end of the field.
The ball is marked. They've got wide receivers to the outside, but Beckford is going to try to pooch punt this one.
Eric Chappelle almost got in on the block.
Swain made the catch, and then I guess he figured maybe I can trick him.
Right, yeah. If the punter hadn't kicked the ball, we might give you credit for the catch. You never knock anybody for trying.
And he's still arguing his point.
He's trying to say it was a throw. Maybe they did have a trick play on, but everybody did except for the punter.
Well, he didn't hear the boot. I mean, everybody in the arena, in the place heard. Boom.
Okay, he catches the ball. He say touchdown.
I'm in the house. Yeah, I'm number 1.
Yeah.
Look at me. Check me out, Mom. Oh, that's why he did it. Okay. He wanted to let his mom know he was playing on national TV.
He's trying to tell the ref he threw the ball. He threw the ball.
So now he's going to come to the sideline and they're going to say, hey, good job, Damien. I mean, you downed the ball, inside the 10-yard line, which is what we needed.
Look, he's looking.
But forget
laughing.
the touchdown.
Yeah, I got it. Look.
29-yard punt by Beckford. And A&M has the football first and 10 at the 8-yard line, and Strong carries the ball for about 3 yards on that play, setting up 2nd and 7.
Right behind Jonathan Woodward and Ron Wilson.
Chris Daniels did a pretty good job of stuffing the run there. They actually had a seam there for about half a second. He did a good job of stuffing the run.
I don't know how good that run was stuffed, but I think it's like 2nd and 7. So we got a 3-yard gain there.
4 times 3 is 12,
right?
High formation behind Robinson. They give it to Donnell, and Donnell runs into a brick wall. Zaire Clare.
Nice hit. Nice hit. Right here, he tries to come off the right side again, same play with a lead back, but the linebacker came up and met him.
Boom! He's on his back.
So now here it is 3rd down. Running the option.
Got some room.
Great job by Robinson right there, holding on to the football and picking up 1st down yardage on the carry.
I think Coach Cooper is trying to get back to what he was doing at the beginning of the game, calm down his troops, start some type of running game, whether it's quarterback, a Strong, or Curtis. He just wants the ball to be moved in a methodical, slow, nice way. Oh, that's an earlier play there.
That's that big hit. 11-yard pickup for Robinson.
I don't think Curtis was thinking about a Ward there.
1st and 10, and Marvin Strong with the carry. Clock continues to roll. 4:20 left in the first half.
Although the Alabama State defense is small, we've already noted that out. There's some pretty good tackles. What they lack in size, they definitely can do with their technique. And I don't know if this has been the case all during the year, but they're doing a pretty good job. They're not missing many tackles.
This game here, you can just throw the records out. These guys are going to fight each other tooth and nail, down to the end. It's going to be a great game.
That's why it's the Magic City Classic. Robinson steps underneath the center.
Long-time rivalry between these two teams. Second
play,
down
got him.
And 8. And the running back is still on his feet, takes it out to about the 42-yard line. That was Strong on the carry.
I have not seen that play since I was in high school.
That was a fake pass, like a Statue of Liberty, whereas the running back is being the statue, and the quarterback is having the liberty to put it up under his arm, and he froze everybody, went the other way, and he broke back and cut off real nice.
Little wraparound draw.
The wraparound draw.
42 is like, hey, I missed my block. Oh, I got the football. Good job of running. Catch his feet, he would have still been running.
Better job of camera work. Our cameraman was not fooled at all on the play. 15-yard pickup by Strong. He takes it out to the 41-yard line. A big hole for Donnell. Donnell looking to get to the outside. Stays on his feet and picks up another first down.
Right there, they went back to the veteran side of the offensive line, and Kendricks and Rogers and Chance Turner. Nice job. Just mold that side of the defensive line down.
And we know Donnell can run, and he knows what this game is all about, having been the MVP before. And he wants to put some more hardware in his trophy case. Good running, good hard running, nothing too fancy. Give you a move, you don't go for it, move the stick.
That was a pickup of 18 yards. Donnell now with 80 yards rushing here in the first half.
By himself.
High formation, back to Donnell. Donnell takes a shot.
Chris Daniels.
Not after he picked up about 3 or 4 yards on that play.
That Alabama A&M line is starting to force its weight around a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
They're leaning on that hole. The hole's getting a little bit bigger. We saw that the last play and the play before that. Holes are getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so they're attacking that left side of the line with the center Brandon Emerson and Chance Turner and Kendrick Rogers. They're making nice advances on that defensive line of Marquay Smith and Earl Cochran.
You see the clock continues to roll. Bulldogs looking to put more points on the board before the end of the first half.
Talk about Chance Turner a little bit. You like that guy, don't you?
Oh, yeah, he's got good feet, man. He runs real well, man. His coach is excited about him. And I'm liking what I see, too. And what I liked about his last play is Kendrick Rogers just took a guy over the pile, man, and just kept going until the whistle was going and just knocked the guy over the pile. That shows a little bit of meanness, but you need to play on that next level.
Parham carries the ball for about a yard, so that makes it 3rd down and 6. Parham is your deep back in this formation. Robinson looking for Hambrick again on Swain. And again, Damian Swain makes a good defensive play.
That was a nice move by Hambrick there, too, to make sure that the defensive back didn't get the ball, because right there, the defensive back ran the route with precision.
One thing he has to work on a little bit, you got to save the quarterback a little bit of sideline. He kept angling there rather than keeping the defensive back on your inside shoulder, then fading out to the sideline at the last second, catching that ball over the shoulder. It's a more difficult catch to make, but you give your quarterback an easier place to throw the football.
So Shug will come in and punt the football on 4th down, and Rollins is standing at the 13-yard line. Remember, the last time Travis punted the football, it was inside the 5-yard line, went down to the 2.
Now, what are the odds we're going to get a fair catch?
Oh, we got a fake. Shug throwing downfield. Oh, and he catches the football. Touchdown. And guess who it is?
Brandon Reed.
Mr. Reed. Big-time players make big-time plays
and big-time games.
Oh, and he just wanted this ball more than Rogers did.
Somebody closed their eyes, and it wasn't Mr. Reed.
Yeah. Risky call because, early in the game, we've noted Rogers doesn't fair catch the football.
Right.
So he was going to go get the ball regardless. Don't know what happened there. I don't know if he even knew that it was a fake. But he went over there and, just let the guy take it from him.
I wonder did they tell the offensive line that it was going to be a fake.
And it's unbelievable because all game long as the kick is up and it is good, but Damian Swain has been playing pretty good defensive, secondary all game long.
Right.
This time it took his own man to knock him out of the play, and that kind of freed up Reed to make the play. But again, credit Brandon Reed with concentration.
Yeah, and here it is. The punter's going to get to it, quick fake, throws it. I'll work with him on the spiral technique. But Brandon Reed goes and makes a great play. The 2 defenders actually wipe themselves out. He's celebrating a little bit. Check me out. He just wants this ball a little bit. He just wants a good concentration.
Oh, yes.
Good concentration. Run the ball in. And going into the game, we talk to the coaches, and Coach Cooper tells you, hey, I've got 1,000 trick plays. He said, I'd run the fumble-rooski if they still let me do it. So Alabama State had to know this. Brandon Reed does a good job there. I mean, he's a big-time player. He transferred in from Auburn, so he's loving this right now, telling all of his old Tiger teammates, check me out.
You brought up Brandon Reed or Coach Ron Cooper yesterday, and the first thing he did, his eyes went up big, and he said he's a good player. Let's go down to a good sideline reporter and Joe Claire.
Man, oh man. Now, do they got tricks on the field or what? That was sweet. The people down here going crazy, but for everybody who's watching, I need y'all to send the fashion police out here. I know I'm supposed to be talking about football, but the fashion police need to come. It's a shame what these people are wearing. Some of these ladies got on corduroys with open-toe shoes. You got brothers who got the bumps in the back of their neck. It's a shame, man. Back up to y'all up top, but we need the fashion police. Back to y'all.
I'm with you on that, Joe, because it was 82 degrees at kickoff, and if they got on corduroys, they in trouble.
Oh, man. Yes, they are. So here comes Alabama State on the return, and getting a pretty good return right there by number 80, Al McKibbins.
Right here, the Bama defense, the Bama Bulldogs defense need to keep everything in front of them, play smart, go in halftime, up 21-7. Don't do anything that will hurt your team.
If you are the offensive coordinator of this team, Jane, you want to get Darnell Kennedy, who's obviously doesn't look comfortable, doesn't seem to be comfortable, maybe the week off kind of upsetting. What do you do to get them to move the football downfield with 1:40 left?
As we look at the injured player here, I think you got to just kind of take into account the fact that you need some easy passes right now to get your quarterback going. You know, throwing the ball upfield, he hasn't had a whole lot of success. Give him a hitch here or there, give him a screen, some easy completions, some passes that aren't as challenging as trying to throw a post 40 yards down the field.
So you can believe that Robert Mathis and Von Cannon, Maurice Carr, Adante Dawson, these guys are going to rush, and they're going to try to put pressure just by using the front four. If I'm them, I'll use my front four and back out with the safeties, corners, and linebackers, and just make a big umbrella and keep everything underneath.
It would look bad if I join this wave. Oh, they're having a rocking good time down here in the Magic City.
That's one thing about BET, Black Entertainment. When you see a lot of blacks, when we wave, it's with some rhythm.
Brian Houston was your injured player that they helped off the field, and
I'm sure Joe's going to let us know if he's all right.
He's on the sideline right now being tended to that knee.
Dead ball. Defense. Offside. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that's one thing you do not need if you're an Alabama A&M Bulldog, and that's a penalty to help Alabama State move the football downfield.
You want to go into halftime with some momentum. If you go into halftime up 21-7, that's great. If they get anything on the board right now, it kind of busts your bubble a little bit in terms of momentum.
And now a couple of players looking to get off the field. The officials blow the whistle.
And the first half right here so far has been great, but we all know in checking the history that this game you can be down by 20 points or 21 points and you possibly can come back on.
Well, we'll see if Alabama State has what it takes offensively to move the football downfield 50 yards in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Classic in Birmingham, Alabama. The Alabama State has the football trailing by 14 points as the clock continues to roll. That was a 1st and 5.
I don't agree with that call there. I mean, your team is down. You got to get your offense going. You're not going to run your way back into this game. You call a running play, the clock is steady ticking. I mean, you came in here throwing, go out throwing.
You want to keep them honest, or maybe do you regroup?
Throw.
I'm talking to a quarterback. I forgot, and it was almost intercepted by Chappelle.
The Hornets are supposed to be doing the stinging, but I don't know. The Bama Bulldogs
or they getting bit.
That's right. Man, they all shook up.
As you see, L.C. Cole in his first year here at Alabama State. 18 years of coaching experience for L.C. Cole. Been an assistant at University of Cincinnati in Eastern Michigan. Was at Toledo, Wisconsin, Kansas State, Ball State. Boy, he has a lot of experience he brings to this program.
But he's got to learn what the Magic City Classic is all about.
He's learning
Unless
right now.
Unless you've been in one, you don't know.
Kennedy over the middle. And you got the feeling that Williams should have made the catch. Pass was intended for Kennard Williams, who's the 4th leading receiver in the conference, and yet he's been noticeably quiet in this football game.
Thanks to Eric Chappelle.
Oh, yeah, we're going on the same page. He's been all over the camera. He's getting a lot of camera time. His friends are going to know who he is and where he's playing after this game's over.
I may have left Notre Dame, but not the spotlight.
So 4th down, and the Hornets go for it. They complete the pass, caught by Charlie Rollins, and Rollins picks up the 1st down. No, they're saying now incomplete. No, he did catch it. So it's at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock's supposed to stop as they set the ball and set the chains, and it'll then restart with 59 seconds left in the 1st half.
Look like right here, Coach Cole is trying to get just enough position to try a field goal.
Looking to the outside. The pass was overthrown, intended for Rollins. And when you look at the roster, especially the receivers for Darnell Kennedy, you see a lot of guys 5'9", a lot of guys 5'11", 5'9", Watson. I mean, there's just not a lot of tall receivers on the roster for him.
And it's a receiving core by committee. You know, one of the things I talked to Johnny Cole, the coordinator, about yesterday was the fact that he kind of wants a go-to guy. They're all very good, but he needs that go-to guy like A&M has.
And Henry. 2nd down. Kennedy over the middle, and boy, a shot was delivered, but credit Charlie Rollins with holding on to the football, but Donnell Fisher delivered a big blow.
That was a nice blow by Donnell Fisher, but he better get ready because even though he hit him big,
listen to this.
Listen to this. Oh, man.
Do you think everybody in the stadium saw the shot, heard the shot?
But it's 1st down.
Yes, it is.
State.
Inside the 25-yard line, clock still ticking, 30 seconds left. Rollins, or actually that's Williams with the catch. Williams gets another 1st down and takes it to the 12. 28 seconds left.
Right now, here Coach Cooper is thinking, field goal, fellas. Field goal at the worst. Field goal at the best. Please, no, you don't want to have all that momentum taken away in the last 30 seconds or less.
Well, they've got a guy in Randy Lefevre for Alabama State who is very Lefevre.
Yeah, I like how you say that, Lefevre. You rolled the tongue perfectly. Can you say it again?
Lefevre.
Thank you.
Now you got me saying Lefevre. New York's Lefevre. I know him. I know him.
Okay.
That's Lefevre.
You got
Lefevre.
Yeah.
I got the Lefevre. They're at the 12-yard line with 28 seconds left.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? All right, we take that do-rag off. She look like Malone, huh? In good time.
See, Coach Cooper called a timeout to talk to his troops, to kind of get to the point you were saying, Nate.
Right.
What he wants to do is make sure that we've been so far, you know, let's only give up a field goal here, or take our chances with a field goal attempt rather than get lazy and just give up a touchdown.
Well, State, with 28 seconds left in 1st down, they have 2 timeouts, which means they can still test the middle of the field.
Okay, I thought you were going to run the ball. I was going to say why.
But they can throw it over the middle and still call timeout and have time to run another play or two.
You got to take some shots at the end zone here.
They do.
Look at the pressure by the Bulldogs there. He fumbled the football. It's picked up. The linebacker picks it up, and he's still at the football in Fisher. And if I'm Fisher, I don't stop. I just keep going, just in case.
Well, they were a half a second late from getting the fumble. He barely got his arm moving forward.
Jamal Ware, the guy they wanted to move to the middle of the. Look at him, blitz through here, boom, big play. Don't give him a chance. His knee was down. It's not a fumble.
Oh, I mean, look at this.
He timed it just perfect.
He's trying to get rid of his ball sidearm.
No, knee was down.
Knee was down.
But Jamal Ware, the junior Sam Backer, came through, made a great play.
2nd down over the middle.
Looking for the tight end, Chris Coleman, and it was overthrown.
The Alabama A&M defenders, I'm realizing why they're disrupting them so much. They're getting real physical with those wide receivers. And every time these receivers try to get off the line of scrimmage, they're getting jammed steady. They got to be careful. You don't want to get called on a penalty here. But, they're getting real physical with those wide receivers.
I know when they go in at halftime, the first thing the offensive line coach is going to do is he's going to bring his troops together and show them the photos of the first half, saying, hey, they hit us here, they hit us there, they gave us this defense, that defense, and they have to come out with a new package. You're going to have to make some nice halftime adjustments. As you can see, Coach Cole right there, better known as Cold-Blooded, need to get the blood flowing.
Yes, he does. He's got 20 seconds to try to get that football in the end zone, and we talked about the fact that State has some chances to regroup because they had 2 timeouts. They take 1 of the 2 they had left. So now what are you thinking? You're saying you've got to test the end zone. You've got to look then, are you looking for a fade pattern? And if that's the case, are you going to one of your bigger receivers as opposed to the smaller guy?
That's what I was going to say. Fade to what? 5'2"?
Right.
They got to get that bigger receiver.
Well, I think this is where you pull out one of your plays by formation. A play that you know going in is your best red zone play. Try and trick with the formation a little bit and get somebody wide open rather than look for a matchup.
So here we go. 3rd down. Ball's at the 12-yard line. They can still get a first down, folks. They don't have to score. Pass is complete. Caught. Touchdown. Williams. Kennard Williams.
And that is all Kennard Williams and nothing but
great second half Williams.
Kennard Williams, who's 3rd in the conference in scoring, takes in his 10th touchdown of the season and brings Alabama State within 8.
You'll see the defender here slip out your screen. The defender did a good job of slipping and getting back up. Grabbed onto his ankle by a shoestring. He doesn't even have a shoe on when he scores that touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
The defender was holding his shoe. That's just leg strength pulling through.
I talked about Brian Johnson making plays. He didn't make the play there.
He took his shoe.
Who is this guy's kicker? Who is this guy's kicker? What's his name, George? Okay.
And he missed
He's off. See?
He missed it, but he's got a chance. There's a
He
penalty
may
marker.
get a chance to kick it again, huh?
We discussed at the beginning of this thing when it was 1 minute and 30 seconds. Keep the guy in front of you. Make the tackle. Keep the momentum going into halftime.
You think participation on the defense?
Wow.
Where men on the field?
It's one thing for us to talk about how many penalties you commit, but it's another thing to commit penalties at the wrong time.
And
that was the wrong time to commit a penalty.
And it's just the magnitude of the penalties they're getting called on. I mean, if you're called on a holding, it happens. You get beat, you hold somebody. Pass interference, it happens. I mean, illegal substitution, jumping off sides. I mean, these aren't physical penalties. These are mental errors. And as a coach, I mean, you spend all this time coaching these kids up, and they come out and do boneheaded plays, which are what mental errors are.
Man, you sounded just like a coach then.
And as a coach, you would wonder 8 games into the season if you aren't getting over some of those mental lapses that you're talking about.
Just comes down to want to.
Lafizak with another opportunity, and he doesn't kick this one through.
Hey, we don't give kickers here at BET much coverage. And we're trying to build Mr. Lefevre up, and he will not accept it.
He's killing it.
Here's our touchdown play one more time. Williams making the catch.
Good job trying to tackle. I mean, he grabbed the shoe. Typically, that's what you tell him for. You can't go anywhere unless, if you got the ankle.
Right.
He pulled through, so, you got to next time go for the thigh or something.
I was going to say, so the next rule is then just take the foot, and he won't be able to go anywhere with that.
Yep. And as you're the quarterback there, you're saying, oh, I got good wide receivers. I'll take that touchdown. 5-yard pass. You do all the running. I love you.
And we were wondering how they were going to get the football into the end zone because of the lack of tall receivers.
Right.
So in this case, what you do is get it to a receiver who's more like a running back and rely on him to be able to get the football in the end zone.
Oh, man, that was sweet. Hey, you're right. You are right.
I'm starting to think
I don't even know why I'm up here in the booth with y'all sometimes.
You starting to sound like you played football.
No, I just hang around some real smart people when it comes to football.
You don't have the height to be a football player, but the width you do have.
Sounds good. I'm ready to go then.
And you got the vocal cords to be a quarterback.
Scream it up. 398! 398! Anyway, 13 seconds left here in the first half. George Johnson, the short
You had wide enough to play football, man, giving you play-by-play along with Jay Walker, and then now going to get it back to Hambrick. I also have Nate in the booth with me as well, if you couldn't tell. Hambrick takes it out to about the 35-yard line, and with 6 seconds left, you figure the Bulldogs with the lead is just going to kneel down and get in the locker room as soon as possible.
I don't know. You know, Coach Cooper said he had 1,00001 trick plays. Let's see.
If he pulls out one here, I'm leaving.
You leaving?
I'm leaving.
Don't do that.
Be fortunate that you're up by 8. You could be up by 7. So, you know, sooner or later this game could come down to a 2-point conversion.
Right.
You know, get into my most popular, my favorite formation.
This time Robinson does take the knee.
Because you only do it when you got the lead. That's why it's got to be your favorite formation.
And they've got to be feeling good about the fact that the lead is 8 as opposed to 7, thanks to the missed extra point by Randy Lefevre. So we go to the commercial break as we play 2 quarters here at Legion Field in Birmingham. And after 2 quarters, it's all Bulldogs. First downs belong to Alabama A&M. Passing yards almost equal, and that has to be extremely surprising to both you guys, considering that Alabama State came in and they were averaging 360 yards in the air per game.
More importantly, so I mean, you know, Alabama A&M turned the football over twice. Alabama State did not convert any of those turnovers into touchdowns.
And also Alabama A&M, they have the time of possession on their side. If they keep it on the ground, they will be successful.
Marvin Strong, Curtis Darnell, guys like that, nice front line they got, making things happen. As you can see, the rush yards, 138. That's nice.
Well, they're Nate Newton and Joe Claire, our sideline reporter, as we're about to start the second half. Alabama A&M with a conference record of 2-1 with an 8-point lead over Alabama State, undefeated in Eastern Division play at 4-0. If Alabama State wins this football game, they clinch the Eastern Division, and they will be back here on the 2nd of December to play in the SWAC championship game, the 2nd annual SWAC championship game. But the Hornets looking to have some sort of answer. And on the kickoff, Alabama State, Al McKibbins with the return, takes it out to about the 20. That's where the Hornets start 1st and 10.
It'll be interesting to see what type of halftime adjustments that the offensive staff, I think the defense played a pretty good first half for Alabama State, which you didn't expect. It'd be interesting to find out what kind of adjustments they made in order to get their quarterback on track. I know you're tired of hearing the point. He's got to be on track. I mean, he is their offense. He accounts for over 90% of their offense overall, so you got to get him on track to get you going.
Erlen Sanders is your injured player on the field. Looked like he's having knee problems, and he's a starting safety, so the Hornets don't want to see him leave the ball game and not to return. Speaking of folks who may not return, Freddie Parker, the outside linebacker, sprained knee. They say he's out for the game. He's the outside linebacker for Alabama State. And Kennard Williams, who caught the touchdown pass for the Hornets, and is the leading receiver, is having back spasms. He won't return punts, but he may be in on certain plays. 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. And a good defensive play for Alabama A&M right there. That's Henry Freeman coming up, making the play and tackling the receiver for a loss of 2.
That was a nice read by your quarterback because he saw the all-out blitz and receiver broke it off just right. And it was a sure tackle. It was no gain, but that showed that they're trying to get on the same page. They're in their 4-receiver set again.
Kennedy in the first half completed 12 of 34 passes for 185 yards. He's now 13 of 35. Looking for his receiver, and the pass was a little behind the intended receiver, Kevin Taylor.
He's now 13 of 36, and 13 of 36 will get you beat on most Saturdays.
I want to say Maurice Carr got a nice rush right up the middle, and I think he hits Darnell's arm there to have that pass thrown a little late.
So it'll be 3rd down and 2. You look at the first half numbers for Alabama State, and Charlie Rollins was the guy they went to often, 6 receptions for 102 yards. He was the leading receiver for the Hornets.
who on 3rd down and 2 get the first down as Darnell Kennedy runs the ball out to the 45-yard line. Actually, he's going to be close. Depends on the mark.
Yeah, he did a good job here. You know, take a look and get pressure up, step up, still look to pass, looking downfield, then make up your mind to run the ball, protect the football, tuck it, then get out of bounds.
That was a Dante Dawson to come up and make that pressure on the play there.
You know, you like to, you know, have him know a little bit closer where the first down marker was. You know, as a quarterback, you don't want to step out of bounds 1 yard short. You know, we can get hit every now and then.
Gentlemen, interesting call, 4th down and 1, and we're just starting the second half. And he may have fumbled the football, and it was recovered by Alabama A&M.
And it is recovered by Maurice
Carr. Recovers the fumble, and
not the way you want to start off the second half at all.
Momentum should be in Alabama State's corner, but they come out, can't get anything going, fumbles, and now Alabama Bulldogs, better known as the Bama Bulldogs, is going to start doing some barking on their own.
Yeah. Andre Ware was your running back who fumbled the football, and looked like Donnell Fisher was the guy who forced the fumble, number 33 inside.
And the key was he got to behind the line of scrimmage penetration. Anytime you get a running back behind, before they can get set, they can't get a good grip on the ball.
13:53 left. We're just underway here in the second half. Score hasn't changed. Action later in the 3rd quarter. Alabama A&M leads by 8 with the football.
Donnell's got a little room.
And Donnell gets loose. Donnell, 10-yard pickup. Donnell, 20-yard pickup.
A nice block. That was a very, very, very nice block by the right side of the line.
Forget the right side of the line. That was a great block by Kenyon Hamburg.
Oh,
you don't have to throw me the football.
Well,
take a look here. Donnell's going to bounce to the outside. Hamburg's going to come in and put all 185 pounds he has into this defender. Wow, where is he at? Come on. Oh, don't do that. Bam, there he is. I knew I saw what I saw.
24-yard pickup.
Great blocking by a receiver, helping this guy get downfield, make things happen. Darnell.
And with that gain right there, Darnell should be over 100 yards. Absolutely.
Can you say MV?
L.C. Cole has got his hands full trying to figure out this Alabama A&M defense and offense. Defensively, they've stuffed this potent offensive attack and keeping the ball on the ground. It seems as if they're also losing the war when it comes to field position.
But right now, he's a little frustrated right now as we take a look at the sights and the attractions in Alabama. But one of the things we're going to see is he's real calm right now. He'll get frustrated in a little while, and at some point the coach has to just kind of slam down the headset and say, you guys, you're thinking too much, go play football. Right now, they're just not playing football. They're thinking, they're tentative, and they're tight.
L.C. Cole was the head coach at Tennessee State the past 4 years, won the Ohio Valley Conference with his club last year and the year before that. In fact, last year finished the regular season 11-0 and number 1 in all of Division I AA. And comes to Alabama State and now looking to win the conference title here as we go down to the field. And Joe Clair.
Keep going. Hey, check this out. It's your man Joe Clair here. I'm out here beefing with the Qs. My man Ricky Smiley here too. But you know the Nukes reign forever. Qs, get out of here. No love to the Qs. Ricky a state alumni, you know what I'm saying? That's why they. Anyway, back to them up top. It's all about the Nukes though. You need to know that.
There are just some things that take your mind off work. As Robinson goes to his wide receiver, who makes a great catch. That is Dondra Holcomb.
Great pass here. I really like this throw by quarterback, Kellen Robinson. He did a great job of running to his left in stride. Take a look here. Play action fake. He's rolling to his left. He's a right-handed passer. That's a tough throw. Sets up, doesn't let his momentum shift him where the ball's thrown out of bounds. Receiver does a good job of making the catch and focusing on that. And there was a guy in his face, too, so he knew he was going to get hit. Good senior leadership throw shown by the quarterback there.
29-yard reception. Keep in mind, only need 1 foot inbounds in college football. As they now go inside, and Curtis Danielle is having a heck of a football game.
Third time to charm.
Super game by Kendrick Rogers, Chancey Turner, Brandon Emerson.
Must be linemen.
Hey, it must be linemen, but you know, they're getting the job done. He went in there virtually untouched. I mean, the kid knows when to show up. Big players make big plays. in big games.
And we alluded to the fact earlier that the holes were getting wider at the end of the first half. Look, he almost goes into the end zone untouched. You know, he's going to go ahead and thank his lineman for that one. And if he does walk away with the MVP trophy, I'm not saying that he will, but if they do hold on to win with 3 touchdowns, he's got to thank his lineman for that one.
Kick is good. When you think about the performance by Curtis Darnell with 114 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, and we still have 10 minutes left here in the third quarter. Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a stretch. He could be the MVP. More after this. Hundred collect, the easy way to say. So 10:05 left here in the third quarter, and Alabama A&M leads 28-13.
Look at that. The cheerleaders even flexing the muscle on Alabama State.
Curtis Darnell's been the one, though, who has the big muscles. 3 touchdown runs today and 114 yards rushing. Harold Franklin, Al McGibbons will be deep to receive this kickoff by Alabama A&M, and it'll be McGibbons at the 7-yard line.
Well, let him get out.
Still on his feet. The outside. McGibbons.
His teammates are going to high-five him for that one.
Yeah. Is that going to get your team psyched or what? 30-yard return for McGibbons. And a great tackle by Travis Shudd.
If you hit somebody like that, you don't need to go get your own tee. Let them bring it to you. Look at the kicker. He's going to kick.
Look at the afterburners. Look at the afterburners.
Did he close his eyes?
Nah.
No, he rapped.
He rapped.
Oh, look at that. That's textbook. That's the best tackle of the game.
Got his head across front, took him down and rolled him out of bounds.
And almost forced the fumble at the same time.
Look at that. You knew he gets high fives for that.
So it's 1st and 10 for Alabama State. Desperately looking for some formula to get this offense moving.
You're down 15 points against the #1 rushing defense in the country. And after today, they're probably going to stay #1 because they haven't rushed for many yards. And you're still trying to run the ball. That lets you know. I just think they're trying to run the ball to save some hits on their quarterback because the quarterback's getting hit every time.
Yeah, just trying to let him adjust to the rhythm of the game. Let your big line try to do something. But you're asking these guys, Phillip Lee, Marcus Autry, and Lloyd Carter, and those guys to start run blocking, and they ain't stopped the pass rush yet.
Well, Alabama A&M allows just 51 yards per game on the ground, and State has just 16 yards rushing, but when they go in the air, they can kind of get some things done, and Charlie Rollins makes the catch and gets the first down.
And that's more of what they're going to need. You're going to need the receiver to catch the ball in front of the defender, break a tackle, then take it to the house, or the end zone, as you like to say. I mean, I'll tell you now, from up here, Alabama A&M is putting nobody in the middle saying, hey, right now, you guys can't get open on us, period.
7-yard pickup for Rollins, 1st and 10, 48-yard line. Kennedy had a wide open receiver, and it's intercepted.
Oh, what
and
a fake.
Beautiful little fake by Jackson. Dornathius Jackson makes the interception, fakes the handoff, and picks up another 10 yards on the play.
Hey, man, like one of these little band members out there dancing, didn't he?
Look at this. One thing about the slant route, he put this ball with a lot of heat on it. Tough ball to catch, and it was behind. You can throw a ball that hard. Which little fake? Oh, oops. Oh, could have been a face mask, too. Good run, and then protect the football and go down. I like that. Little flash, and then know when to say when and when to go down.
That's right.
At what point do you start getting frustrated when your receivers, Jay, start to drop footballs like that? I mean, that was in Kevin Taylor's hands.
Yeah, but he knows when you throw a ball that hard, you throw it behind the receiver, you're putting him at risk. It's not an easy catch to make.
1st and 10, Robinson looking downfield and had Hambrick and just overthrew it.
Got a little excited.
That was 2 tight ends, Chet.
You would think that the offensive line of Alabama State would be the better pass protectors, but tonight these guys for Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs, are doing a nice job of defending their quarterback, Kelvin Robinson.
Sure. I mean, see Coach Cole starting to get involved in the action with the defense. He needs a turnover. They're going to start blitzing. They got to start getting the ball back.
Well, he's a little upset Nebraska lost to Oklahoma today. He's an alumni of Nebraska.
This time they give it inside to the big fullback, the guy who was playing linebacker just last week, and Corey Parham.
Chris Daniels made a great stop there. They're going to start blitzing. He had to start blitzing because right now Alabama A&M is dictating the tempo of the game to you. So what do you do to combat that? You start blitzing, trying to make them hurry up the pace.
Yeah, but you still have to be conservative in those blitz because if they give up a big play here, then things will have to happen, even though over the past histories, scores don't mean nothing to the fourth quarter around this classic at the Magic City.
Ball, no gain. Darnell still on his feet, trying to get loose and could not get past Claire, who comes up and makes a great tackle.
They can call this game the Magic City Blitz Bowl right now because each team is blitzing 75% of the time. The good thing about when teams are blitzing, that means it's getting real physical out there.
Right here, I wouldn't just say an automatic punt or field goal. I would at least think about it. Right here, I mean, you got a little momentum.
Right.
I don't know. You know, if I was, that's why I'm up in the booth. I'm not coaching. Boy, I sure try old Hambrick right now on a streak.
Yeah, this may be where you see the fake.
But Shug will come in and punt the football. Rollins again, deep, standing at his own 10-yard line.
Oh, he missed that one.
That's what you call a shank.
For 7 yards, you might as well go for the fake.
And Shug may have punted that football 8 yards, depending on the mark.
I think he jumped his pitching wedge.
But that's probably the only mistake he's made. By the way, how about our 1-800 connection play of the game? And it was the fake punt. Shug going to Brandon Reed for the touchdown. Alabama A&M establishing themselves. Today's connection play has been brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the easy way to save. Travis Shug is having a pretty good ball game. Well, till last punt. So Alabama State trailing in this one by 15 points to Alabama A&M, and they have the football. Darnell Kennedy, who began the day as the definite favorite for the SWAC Player of the Year honors, has been struggling in this one against the Bulldogs. They try to go back the other way on the screen pass and pick up about 6 yards on the play.
They're trying to trick him right now. When you can't get a smooth rhythm, you start going for the trick plays, trying to overcoach him a little bit, outcoach him, say, if you can't get it by all out, just get the first down yourself, you're trying to manufacture first down. I'd like to see him just open it up and just start throwing the deep ball. He hasn't thrown the ball past 30 yards in the past quarter and a half almost.
Chris Coleman made the catch on that last play, picked up about 6 yards, so on 2nd and 4, they keep it on the ground, and Larry Bias with his first carry of the ball game.
Yeah, you would like to see them mix it up and all of that, but they're going to have to run the ball, try to establish something, let the kid, quarterback, get himself together, man, regroup.
He gets the first down. Bias on that play, and immediately the Hornets go to the air. This one complete to Williams, and Williams takes it inside the 45-yard line of Alabama A&M. A pickup of about 6, making it 2nd down and 4.
Everything short, everything short. Maybe try and get him on a double move here a little bit later on. Fake a short pass, a pump and go.
They keep it on the ground, give it to Bias. Bias takes it out near the 40-yard line, and it looks like he's going to have enough for a first down.
Yeah, trying to cut it back behind Phillip Lee and Marcus Autry, the two big senior and junior, trying to just make something happen. Right now, you're just playing to try to get some type of momentum, try to get some consistency going, trying to move the ball. They see the young kid is struggling at quarterback, Darnell, so they're just going to take their time with it.
1st and 10. And look at Ware and that jump right there. Jamal Ware has been outstanding and in anticipating the count. We saw it in the first half, and he does it again here in the second.
So when we pick these MVPs, is it the 2 different teams, or is just one MVP?
No, that was perfect there. I mean, he timed that up just right. Any sooner, it would have been a penalty for sure. He made the tackle, so he didn't just get there. He finished off the play.
Because Jamal Ware is doing everything on defense that Curtis Darnell is doing on offense.
Absolutely.
Making the plays.
A loss of 3 yards. 2nd down. Kennedy. And again, another whistle. And it looked like movement on the offense.
I think the 25-second clock was running down, and one of the linemen knew that, so they kind of got going a little bit early. You should be saying height sometimes.
Now let me tell you something. As a quarterback, to my offensive line to a quarterback, if he looking at the play clock, that means he nervous about something, and that may be somebody thundering across his skull.
I mean, at some point, you're sitting right there. Even an old lineman can figure that out, Nate.
Oh, no.
3, 2, 1. They better say height before it gets to 0.
I'll tell you who knows the snap, and that's Jamal Ware. He's in everybody's
head.
jumping right now before even the center snap. He knows the snap, and the quarterback doesn't. Was he offside?
No.
They didn't call it.
So he wasn't.
He was.
We keep on moving.
Grant Johnson, I think, right there. Big 6'2", 280 junior. I think he moved.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, still second out.
And they give it right back.
Right back.
You know, they gave you 5 yards before by moving, and the Alabama A&M defense gives the 5 yards right back. I mean, these are the mental mistakes. I mean, both these teams could be some very good football teams if they just cut down on their mental errors.
Alabama State with 11 penalties for 70 yards, and A&M with 10 penalties for 91 yards.
Whoa.
Look for a deep pass here.
And that's coming from crackpot statistician Eric.
And this pass is completed to Williams, and see you later. Kennard Williams with his second touchdown reception of the game. This one from 44 yards out. And Alabama State, just like that, getting back in this thing.
Back in the game. You knew it had to happen. That's what we talked about all along. Throw the ball short. Let your wide receivers win the game for you. You can't win it with your passing. Just get the ball to them and let them make plays for you. Right here you see that's a short pass. Ball's actually tipped. Good concentration by the wide receiver there. Good hard running. Lower the shoulder in anticipation of the hit. Man to stay in bounds. That's a poor job of tackling there, too.
Very poor job of tackling.
Kennard Williams has been a big-time player ever since he started playing football, even in his high school days.
They're giving us some funny formation here on offense.
They're going for 2 right now. Oh, he's going to run the ball to the right. Just run it right, quarterback. Oh!
And this time they try a little pitch on the 2-point conversion, and Larry Bias could not control the football, and now that's big.
That's big. You got to score twice now in order to do it. Take a look here. Kennard Williams making the play, tip ball, running it in, make it a miss, saying this is what Magic City is all about. Touchdown, Alabama State.
Magic City Classic. Let's move to action later in the third quarter.
Coming out of the timeout, Alabama State changed their mind a little bit, decided to go for the field goal attempt.
Smart move, coach. Cold-blooded, cold.
So Lefevre from 32 yards out. And he got it blocked. The second block of the game for Alabama A&M on a field goal attempt.
I told you he should have gone for it.
Was that for penetration or was it just a low kick? Can we get that on a replay, please? Chris.
Probably a little bit of both there.
I mean, that's the second time they've done this.
Snaps down.
Boy, it looked like it had.
It looked like it was low. I mean, the guy jumped. He didn't get penetration and jump. He jumped from the line of scrimmage. I think that's a low kick.
Low kick.
Probably, with it being his career long, even though I saw him kicking in pregame, and the coach said he has enough leg to kick from 50. With this being one of his career-long attempts, probably try to put a little extra mustard on the football. And you know what happens when you swing your pitch and wedge too hard.
And frustration setting in for the Hornets. And yet they need to realize that there's still 1:59 left in the third quarter. Lots of football left. Let's go down to the field, Joe Claire.
Hey, check this out. I'm standing here with Kaylin Chapman, the first and ever Miss Black Alabama ever. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Now, you didn't go to one of these small black schools. You went to a big...
That's right. I went to UAB, but my father went to state, and he was a marching Hornet.
And you having a good time today, right?
Loving it.
One question. Explain the shirt.
Yeah, it explains itself.
To wear something like this is sort of like expressing my alter ego.
All right, well, we just missed something big. We got to go. Back to y'all. Peace out.
Peace out, man.
What you missed is an interception by Marshawn Sanders. Robinson looking for the home run ball, going downfield, and Marshawn Sanders comes up with the interception.
See the quarterback, I think he just got a little excited. Defense made the stop. He had the wide receiver open, threw it as far as he could. The wide receiver was clearly behind the defensive backs. He just couldn't get it out there far enough. You got to throw it a little bit sooner. Help yourself out by making a better read.
Look at that. I had great protection, just super protection, and sometimes you have to pull that thing down and run with it.
That's not good anticipation. What he did was he waited till the wide receiver ran past the defensive back and then thought he had enough arm strength to get it out there. If you anticipate a little bit sooner, you can get rid of the ball quicker.
Sanders' third interception on the season, leading the club, and immediately here come the Hornets. Going over the middle is Kenny Watson, who makes the catch and picks up the first down.
Got to make him pay. Look at that. Coach Cole's getting into it. Now we're ready to go.
He's getting pumped.
It's been there. The middle of the field's been wide open all day. Look at this. You see nobody in the middle. You're seeing what I'm looking at, too, everybody out there in the audience. The middle field is right there. Make somebody miss the line of scrimmage, throw a move on them, then you can run all day. They'll probably come back with the same play. It's been there all day.
Reggie Johnson makes the stop. This time they try to run the football. And that's not happening. That was where.
Not going to run against this A&M defense.
Robert Mathis finally showed up and made a play for us.
Oh, finally showing up. Hey, if we can get the stats over there, we know that this guy hasn't went anywhere all day against this Bulldogs defense.
Ware with the carry. And for Andre, that's 5 carries for 5 yards.
Thank you.
Here's Kennedy, and again, the pressure. Yeah. And it has been unbelievable.
Dante Dawson, 6'5", 250 pounds of pure rock and soul, just came through and made some stuff happen.
This club has generated 32 sacks on the season coming in. They've got to have at least 6-7 sacks now. For Dawson, that's his second of the game.
Dawson coming up big.
The cornerbacks are just doing a great job still. I continue to say it over and over. Reed, Freeman, those guys,
and
they're
here
playing.
They come again, and another sack. And that is why the Bulldogs lead the SWAC in that category. The pressure is unbelievable, folks.
The pressure is coming from everywhere. It's like a faucet, it's like a pipe has burst all over state.
That's Donnell Fisher with the sack.
And what really hurts here, Nate, is the fact that Alabama State is trying to keep 7 people in the block. I mean, they only had 3 receivers go out on the route that time, anticipating the blitz, and they still got beat.
I mean, that was Dornathius Jackson, number 18, also in there. He's a safety. They're bringing everybody as we've come to the end of the third quarter. Alabama A&M trying to hold on to their lead, and the defense is coming up big. 2 straight sacks. They lead 28-19. Points per game, third in the SWAC, allowing just 51 yards on the ground per game, first in the nation. Total offense allowing just 295 yards per game, that's 4th best in the SWAC, and we're getting a good taste of just how good this defense is.
You're definitely right there, George. I'm telling you, this thing is getting uglier and uglier by the minute.
4th down, ball's at the 20. They need 30 yards for a first down, so they've got to punt the football, and waiting back at the 30-yard line is Hambrick. Hambrick will let it bounce.
Smart move.
Inside the 30, no need trying to make a big play. Now all you want to do is be patient as we take a look at our Southwest Airlines third quarter stats are through 3. You can see first downs are even. Passing yards, we knew Alabama State would be in control with that. After all, they came in averaging 360 yards a game in the air. They don't run the ball well, but that's not even well right there. Just 4 yards rushing through 3 quarters.
You call that running?
That's falling forward.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a quarterback sneak.
That's a quarterback sneak.
3 of them. 1.3 yards per carry.
I formation for the Bulldogs. In control and content to just keep the football on the ground. And they hand it off to Trevorris Nunn, and Nunn picks up maybe 4 or 5 yards on the play.
I felt there Nunn should have turned his shoulders up after he broke that first tackle. Just turn his shoulders up. He don't have the speed that Curtis Darnell has, it seems, at this point. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he may turn it up and go 65, but well, he was scooting along there like Herschel Walker, man, just feet barely clearing the ground.
Nunn was the leading rusher on this team last year.
So he's second to none.
Again, keeping it on the ground of the Bulldogs. This time they give it to Darnell, and Darnell maybe picks up a yard. That'll make it third down.
Jay, right here, play action pass, just drop back straight and pass. Or what do you see, a quick slant?
Screen pass. You got the lead. You obviously want to get a completion so the clock starts to become a factor in this game. The deeper in the game we get, the more Alabama State is going to start pressing. Wouldn't do anything sophisticated, hitch, screen pass, something like that. Maybe even a draw play here. You just want the clock to run.
Robinson, nice little handoff to Nunn. Nunn gets the first down. Nunn is tripped up out at the 45-yard line, but they'll maintain possession after that run.
Am I pretty good? I did say draw, right?
Yeah.
I did say that was the option. Like, okay.
Yeah, because you've been in this situation by playing a Howard a lot.
Always winning. You're right. Yeah, always.
Always behind. Always need big yardage. So you have to, run draw plays and trickery.
This makes sense for you to do it. Keep the clock running. Right now, the clock's down. When they snapped it, as we got an injury here on the sideline, they need that. That could be big because now they're going to start trying to control the clock. They've got Big Ron Wilson there hurt. You got to toughen up, get back in the game.
The sophomore from Whistler, Alabama. First down play, and the Bulldogs, they're just going to give it to Nunn, give it to Darnell, bring Marvin Strong probably off the bench a couple of times, and let that clock continue to roll as we're at 12:45 left here in the football game.
When you saw Al Walker sit there and celebrate, he'll mature. He's just a freshman. You made a good tackle. Act like you've made it time and time again. I mean, your team is losing by 9 points, and you're celebrating a little bit. You can't celebrate about too much. He'll mature. He's a great football player. Make the tackle, do it again, get an interception in the end zone.
Well, he's watched a little bit too much of Junior Seau. He does the same thing with those Chargers.
Robinson gives it to Darnell. Darnell getting some pretty good blocking. Couldn't quite get Chance Turner out of his way, but Turner got in front of him. Gave him a little room.
Darnell, he said, it's been a long time since I've been in that end zone. I'm ready to get back where I belong.
And all Darnell had to do on that play was slow down, give it a chance for it to develop. He didn't let that play develop to its fullest. So that's why you over there doing the play-by-play, and me and my man over here doing the color. Thank you.
There's Ron Wilson right there, the sophomore. Looks like they're retaping, or at least they're taking it off, as you see Ron Cooper, the head coach of Alabama A&M.
Speed it up, fellas. Get a little sense of urgency.
There's Robinson eluding some defenders and throwing the football downfield, and Hambrick still without a reception in this ball game.
You like that fact that the quarterback didn't force the football. He could have thrown it up for grabs. He threw over either Hambrick was going to make a spectacular catch to stay in bounds, or it would have been incomplete out of bounds. Last thing you want now is an interception.
See where he drops back, gets a little pressure, rolls out, stays composed, squares his shoulders on the run, and so.
So Hambrick's either going to have to make a great grab and extend himself to about 7 feet tall instead of the 6'2" that he is, or just let it go complete out of bounds, punt the ball, win the battlefield position, make Alabama State drive 90-something yards compared to just 40.
And what you notice here, the penalties are cutting down as the game gets tighter and tighter. The kids are focusing more, I think. They're trying to stay in this game.
By the way, check that replacement. Hambrick does have one reception as they try the fake and they complete the first down.
Goodness. Coach Cooper said he has 1,001 fake trick plays to do whatever he need to do, and he's bringing them out at the right time.
Chappelle makes the play on that one.
Look at here. Right now, who looks like the more cold-blooded coach? Is Cooper trying to put the dagger in on Coach Cole?
And this guy right here is having quite a game. But I'll tell you what, it was...
Now look at this, what happened. They got the first down. It's your ball. They're about to have to burn a timeout or get a penalty. They got 5 seconds left on the clock, spending too much time celebrating on the sideline.
Alabama State, you felt they knew there could have been the fake, because the deep man who was returning the football, Charlie Rollins,
he started to run back off the field. He saw the fake, but it was too late to make any kind of adjustments, and Alabama A&M pulls off the fake, gets the first down.
My legs broke. I'm all right.
Now look at him now. He's trying to catch his breath, man. He's just chilling.
Is that what he's
You know them young guys, I'm just chilling. I'll be back, dog.
So you're saying to tell him to slow down?
Yeah, because when I come back, I want all the fans to be cheering and clapping. I want to be the reason we win this thing.
Second down. Ball's at the 38-yard line. Robinson has time. And in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Neil Lindsay.
Neil's got to make that catch there. He wishes he can have that back. Catch the ball. More importantly, you keep the clock running. Secondly, you get the yardage. Thirdly, you help your quarterback stats. You know I'm big on that.
Right. And fourthly, stop the penalties. Stop the penalties.
We got another flag. That is...
You got a chance to hammer the nail into the coffin. And what do? Focus, young man. Focus. You can't let that happen in a game of this magnitude. You're trying to put yourself into the SWAC championship game, or give yourself a chance to be in the SWAC championship game. You can't waste time. Like now right here, they're hollering over at the coach. The coach can't play the game. You got to play the game.
12th penalty of the day for Alabama A&M. Pass, though, is complete. They're going to be a couple of yards shy of a first down, but Torrey Day makes the catch.
He's come up with some big plays for him, and when they need him in extremely long situations, he got the touchdown when it was 3rd and forever early on, and then he just comes back here when they're looking at 2nd and 20, and he catches the completion for 17 yards to make it 3rd and attainable.
Right, so you're saying Torrey Day brings light to the day.
I tried something with him earlier with that day. We just got to
You like that day thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice. That day thing give you something to play with.
Yeah.
Day with 2 receptions for 63 yards. 3rd down. Wow. And nothing doing on that play right there.
That's that Walker guy. That's that young freshman.
You know he's gonna let us know he made the play, too.
He made the play.
Can he celebrate on that one now?
A young junior say-out.
I mean, he makes a big hit here.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Stopped him in his tracks.
Who was that running back there?
I mean, he stopped the 6'1", 230-pound fullback in Marvin Strong.
Strong. He brought the strong to strong.
He's got potential. Al Walker's got a lot of potential. He's going to be a player.
4th and 2. The Bulldogs going for it. Robinson, handbrick, makes the big play.
Big Nate Newton is celebrating.
The reason I'm saying, because the guy is a clutch receiver. Right here, he knows that his team needs a play. He's smooth enough, slick enough to make the play. Here, he drops back, quarterback releases it just right. Boom, he goes up, Randy Moss-style catch, and brings the ball down.
And how about the job by Calvin Robinson, making his first start since the Grambling game, September 16th at quarterback. Remember, it was the 16th that he threw the interception against Grambling and was benched by Ron Cooper after that. But then rallied his team 2 weeks ago against Morris Brown to get the win in overtime. He's been at quarterback all game long and has done an unbelievable job of driving the Bulldogs up and down the field.
He's shown senior leadership, and I think that's part of the reason why the coach put him in there. He hasn't turned the football over. He's made effective decisions. I mean, he hasn't thrown for eye-popping statistics, but he hasn't turned the football over either.
You know, if we can get rid of those big shoulder pads he has on, he has some lineman shoulder pads. You can't even see his brother's neck, man. Golly. Well, the coach ain't built too good himself there either. So I guess the coach, you know, the quarterback is an extension of the coach here. Rod, lose a little something.
And then another penalty assessed to Alabama State, and this one's going to be a big one, personal foul, and they're going to move it half the distance to the goal.
So right now they can keep the momentum. The Bulldogs can keep the momentum if they just go right up, call the play, come out of the huddle, run it with some urgency, let Alabama State know that they can be beaten right here.
The ball is at the 10-yard line, and it looks like it's marked outside the 10, so they could probably get a first down. But a touchdown would prove to be deadly for Alabama State.
You want it, you got it.
Are you kidding me? Curtis Darnell with his 4th touchdown run to the football game.
Same play as the first touchdown. Jonathan Woodward, the right guard, pulls to the left side. Here he is. He's showing it on screen. The right guard pulls, turns up, gets a nice block, opens the hole, winds it, leaves a one-on-one, and this kid gets it. Hey, this kid can smell the zone. He smelled the ribs, baby. He smelled the ribs. Hey, I'm telling you.
And he did a great job allowing the pulling guard to make a block for
right.
He didn't rush it early.
Right.
He rushed
it. He waited this time and made the play.
Hold on. Rashad Kyler with the point after. It's no good. But A&M stretches that lead to 15 points. Curtis Darnell came into the football game with 5 touchdowns. He's added 4 more to his season total. This one from 10 yards out. Alabama A&M in control.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I make your order?
Ooh, like chicken. Crispy chicken meal?
Any special way?
Ooh, he's making it special.
Our sandwiches are made hot, fresh, right to order. Remember?
Right.
Chicken McGrill or crispy chicken. I made yours extra special.
Love to see you smile.
An original only comes around one time. Everyone else pays tribute through imitation. When maneuvering through urban terrain, only one has inspired the rest. Only one has changed the face of 4x4 Jeep. There's only one.
This portion of today's game is brought to you by McDonald's. We love to see you smile.
Right here, you see number 53, Jonathan Woodward, pulling, turning up, getting in there, expanding the hole with Kendrick Rogers and Chance Turner's already made a hole there. But when Woodward pulls up and squares his shoulders and makes that hole wider, it puts him one-on-one. It puts Curtis Darnell one-on-one with a defensive back. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not happening. He smells the zone, baby.
Something's happening. It just ain't that.
It just ain't that. Yes.
There's a whole lot happening around here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Absolutely. Marvin Strong also lending support blocking-wise on that last touchdown run by Curtis Darnell that puts his team up 15 points. And Alabama State now is going to have to make some big plays and make more than one if they want to get back in this football game.
Can I tell you something? I wish right now I could be Darnell Kennedy. As a quarterback, you love it because you can't run the ball anymore. You're not fooling anybody. Everything falls on you. Think about before the John Elway scenario. You stink up the place for 3.5 quarters. You pull it out at the end. What are they talking about? How great a leader he is. They said he's a great leader. You've been interested to see how he shows up right now. Chris Donald's got 4 touchdowns compared to 4 yards rushed for Alabama State. So I think 4 is the common denominator.
So he's outrushed them 137, so 133 yards. They total team. They total team 133 yards.
Here's Kennedy, and it was knocked down. And a pretty good play by Alabama A&M, who brought everybody on that blitz.
When talking to Coach Cooper and walk through yesterday, he said, Nate, we have to bring it to him. We have to make him know that he's got to be the accurate passer that everybody says he is. We're going to bring it, and by the 4th quarter, we may see some funny things happen. Right now, this kid is not standing his tall, and I'm way up here, and when I see him watching the sideline, I see it by the camera, his eyes is not as clear, so he's foggy right now.
He's got 5 receivers. They brought everybody again. Pass is complete to Rollins. Rollins picks up maybe 5 yards. Jay, you talked about the fact that when you start bringing all these guys, maybe you need to start throwing the football downfield, get away from those short routes.
Yeah, I mean,
and
right
yet,
now,
does he have the time to get the football downfield?
Well, you throw a fade. You throw a fade route, just a go route. You know, as soon as if you're in the shotgun, as soon as you catch the snap, you throw it up top. If you're going to get hit, you don't want to get hit for a 5-yard completion. You want to get hit for a bomb, and your teammates respect you for it even more. I'm sure every time, you know, if Troy Aikman was getting up off the canvas after completing a bomb to Alvin Harper or Michael Irvin, you guys respected him for it. He didn't mind that.
Right.
You know, you get him hit on a screen pass, he's probably going to tell you something that you don't want to
you
hear.
need to pick it up. But lately, Troy's been getting hit regardless.
Well, Alabama A&M.
Right here, you don't have to play a prevent defense. If you're the Bulldogs, you don't have to play a prevent defense, but you can be a little more conservative in how you blitz and how you do things here. You know, don't let anyone get behind you, but you can still blitz at the proper times.
Thanks to the offside, 3rd and 1. Pass was intended for Taylor, and I don't even think he looked to see if his quarterback was getting it to him or not.
They're confused. I mean, there's absolutely nobody in the middle of the field, and they keep running a slant and a hitch route. Take your shots. I mean, you got to take your shots and go vertical, or you're going to see that look all day. They're putting 8 men, actually 7 men in the boxes. They're going 4 wide receivers. They're putting 7 men within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage, saying that you're not going to beat us throwing the ball.
You know, right now, Philip Lee, Marcus Artrick, Lord Carlton, Kevin Harris, Terrence Broomfield, they got to pull together.
4th down, and they hand the ball off inside and pick up the 1st down on the run, but we've got flags all over the place. That was Andre Ward with the carry. But let's see what the call is.
Looks like it's against Alabama A&M. Some of their players are signaling it's against us. They might get a little antsy to get there.
Defense. 5-yard penalty. The 1st down.
But our guys on both sides of the ball, I'm talking about defensive and offensive lines of both teams, have been anxious all day. It's time to settle down. You're costing your team valuable yards, valuable time, and more importantly, the game.
Clock continues to roll. There are under 7 minutes left here in the football game. Kennedy with pressure and got the pass off to his tight end Coleman, but not without receiving a little pop by Jermaine Mobley.
Getting hit again for another 5-yard route.
And thing about it, I don't know if him and the receiver was on the same page, because he went to throw it and he hitched and pulled it back, and that gave the guy time to blitz in there and hit him. So they're losing continuity, and it's getting worse as the game progresses.
Kennedy throws the out to Ware, and again Reed comes up and makes a great play. The corner getting a little help from Anthony Pollock, but credit Brandon Reed with the containment.
And Jamal Ware made him throw. He made him throw a touch pass just to get over him on the blitz. And what I'm saying here is the young guy Reed, the way you can tell by his body actions is what he's telling everybody when you throw him outside. I can't be faded. I just can't be faded.
No yards on that pass play. There's Kennedy over the middle, and now the receivers are just not grabbing the football. That's Kenny Watson, and he has, what, 2-3 drops already in this ball game.
Well, right here, this kid here, what he needs to do is go down to Florida, live with the alligators, because them arms got sharp.
They get short.
He sleeps with the gators.
Didn't want to make that catch, huh?
Oh, because I'm telling you, somebody was waiting back there to rack.
Well, the Bulldogs have been coming up with some big hits. Fisher, Chappelle, Ware, Reed, Mathis. And the hits just keep on coming. Dornathius Jackson. 4th down and 10. Pass tipped in the air, and a nice little effort by Kennard Williams. But he couldn't come down with the catch, and they turned the ball over on downs.
The things are going Andre Reed's way. I mean, Brandon Reed, excuse me. Things are going his way. I mean, even on that tip there, you know, he seems invincible. I mean, it'll take a bullet to stop him right now.
Yeah. That's good coverage, yeah.
He's good coverage.
Kennedy's just throwing the ball away just to get rid of. He's a little gun shy. Can't say that I blame him, but one thing he's got to learn from this game, he's going to see this defense over and over and over again.
You can't blame him. Son, this is BET. This is excitement. This is black entertainment at its best. He better perform. He got viewers all the way from Canada down the Mohicans down in the Amazon. This brother better pick up the game.
Meanwhile, the Bulldogs have picked up their game, especially their rushing attack. as they get big yards on that carry by Corey Parham. As you see, Darnell Kennedy, who as a freshman was the SWAC Freshman of the Year, as a sophomore led the conference in passing and total offense. Then last year, broke his foot after the second game, red shirt, came back this year, throws for 360 yards a game, and yet in this game against the Bulldogs has been unable to get anything done against that defense.
They're stingy, they're nasty, they're quick, and the hits just keep
on coming. Parham again with the carry. And how tired now is this Alabama State defense?
I don't know. They're so tired now that they don't want to put their hands on the hips. They're trying to disguise it by putting it on their thighs. They are tired right about now. They're looking over at their offense like, I thought we were ranked #1 in the offense.
So now, if the Bulldogs can protect the football and hold on to this lead as Parham on 2nd down and 8 maybe loses half a yard. If Alabama A&M holds on to this win, they go to 3-1 in conference play.
Right.
Alabama State drops to 4-1.
Yes, they
do. So now this thing is still wide open because Jackson State thinks that they also have an opportunity to win the Eastern Division of the SWAC.
And guess who's covering this SWAC championship game in December?
Dude, why don't you tell me?
B.E.T.
Coach Cole, they're still trying to figure out something there, trying to get his troops motivated. They need a turnover something right now.
3rd and long, and they're going to throw the football. And the sack by Alabama State. Calvin makes the sack, and that'll make it 4th down.
On tonight's BET Tonight with Tavis Smiley, Jermaine Dupri and Little Bow Wow talk about the lifestyle of young hip-hop artists tonight at 11:30 p.m. Eastern and Pacific.
After 6 months of difficult negotiations, we are pleased to sign this historic agreement.
One last question. Do you have a satellite dish or AT&T digital cable?
The dish?
The chairman respectfully points out that the dish is a real dead end. You buy it, you're stuck with it. Even we've heard that with digital cable, you always get the latest technology. He's mad.
AT&T digital cable. It's smarter.
Hi, I'm Willie Richardson. If you have been injured in an accident, call me. Accidents are never planned. If you have been injured and someone else is to blame, plan on calling Willie Richardson. I handle automobile accidents and personal injury and will get you the settlement you deserve. If there is no collection, then there's no fee for legal services. The law office of Willie Richardson, located at the 21 Center, call 643-1950.
And you can see by the way that Calvin Robinson is playing, the way that Corey Parham just ran that last ball, coach saying, don't force anything. At this point in the game, if we play smart, things can happen. They bring on their kicker here.
So Kyler is now going to attempt a 47-yard field goal. They're still trying the trickery, and this time Alabama State makes them pay.
So Coach Cooper say, y'all don't make any mistakes. Keep the ball tight, and I'll do all the losing of the yards by calling this bad play here.
Yeah. Neil Lindsay was the recipient of the fake, but Marquay Smith was not fooled.
Yeah, you got to wonder, why they're doing that. You do have to play this team next year. Obviously they can't score on you. Now all you've done is shorten the field on them, giving them a little bit of life when they were basically dead in the water. 2 scores will still get you beat. 2 touchdowns plus 2 two-point conversions send you home really. So you got to think about, the reason behind that.
Nice little move there by Andre Ward. When you think about the fact that Kyler has attempted coming in just 2 field goals on the whole season. His longest conversion is from 31 yards out. Now they're setting him up for 47. You got to kind of start saying to yourself, wait a minute, y'all are trying something you shouldn't be.
And, and recruiting plays a big part in these games, too. So I guess if you can beat your in-state rival by a lot of points and do a lot of fancy things. It humiliates the other team and gives you the one-up on the recruit more.
Taylor makes the catch there, but only picks up 2 yards on the play as the clock approaches 2.5 minutes left in the football game.
When's the last time we've seen the Alabama State football team go for a pass beyond 10, 15 yards?
It's been a while. So what you're saying is they need the 1994 Player of the Year from the University of Howard, Jay Walker.
Now they're going for it. And you got it.
Got somebody wide open downfield. Rollins was by himself, had beaten Donathius Jackson, but was unable to haul it in.
With the blitz coming, they move the quarterback out the pocket a little bit to buy himself a little time in order to allow the receiver to run a little bit further route downfield more. Just right now, at this point in time, the timing's off a little bit.
And there's L.C. Cole, who next up takes on the team that Jay Walker feels is the best team in all of black college football, Grambling. After Grambling, it's Mississippi Valley State. Then they get an open date before taking on Tuskegee. Tuskegee has also proven to a lot of folks that they're very tough. Meanwhile, for Alabama A&M, next up they take on Jackson State. It gets no easier for them. Jackson State feels that they also have what it takes to win this Eastern Division, as we're now at 2 minutes left. So Jackson State next.
You sound like you don't think Grambling is the best team in black college football right now.
I think it hasn't been proven yet who is the best team.
You got to make a stand. Say something. You can't be neutral on this one, George.
Yes, he can. He votes Democrat. He votes Democrat. He don't have to
I'm
make
always
his
on the
mind.
fence. I'm always on the fence.
He's like Clinton, bro. He's like Clinton.
Oh. So, George, who's the best team in black college football?
Oh, really? I don't know who.
False start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
I really don't know who could be the best team. Let's go down to Joe Claire. Joe, save me.
Yo, the best team in black college football is the BET broadcast station. That's the best team in black college football. Now listen, they got to go, but it's been a wonderful game. 61,000 people in attendance, off the hook. For everybody who didn't get to come, make sure you support your local black college. Back up to y'all upstairs.
61,000 folks coming to this football game. When we saw it as we came in, the crowd was there. I tried to outrun you a little bit in the car there, Nate, but I knew how much traffic we were going to run into.
You know, and it's amazing how we can come together and support these type of functions, man. If we can just get behind our schools that we support and do the same thing, hey, you never know how far you can take this black college thing.
Put a couple of dollars in their pockets, huh?
Thank
Kennedy.
you.
Kennedy still hasn't picked up the loose ball, and finally it's picked up by Ward. But by then the damage was done. 120 left and counting. So Alabama A&M is going to go on and win this football game, improve their record overall to 5-3, 3-1 in conference play. It'll be Alabama State's first loss in the conference. They'll drop to 5-3.
Temperatures are getting a little high. If they could have put some of that emotion into spread over about 3/4 earlier, maybe it would have been a closer game.
And there's Joe. It seems like every game he has to do a little bit of that. I don't even want to go any further. Let's take a look at our McDonald's trivia question. What were the most points scored by both teams in the Magic City Classic? That's the question. What about the guess? As I know
now you want me to guess when you wouldn't tell me who the number one team in black college football was.
No, I was looking at Nate.
I'm not sure.
No,
The
I'm
answer
saying
could be,
keep sweating me.
it could be A, B, or maybe C.
So y'all telling me that Clinton and Gore always argue like this?
So anybody, it's 57, I said.
George,
we'll come back with the answer in a second. Here's Coleman with the catch. Coleman's still on his feet. Coleman's going to score.
Wait a minute, onside kick time.
Coleman for 2 scores from 43 yards out with 55 seconds remaining in the game. And that makes it 34-25.
What you see here is just a little screen. What they're doing, they're getting blitzed all over the place. Roll the quarterback one way, throw the ball back across the field. Look at that wedge. Look at that line.
Look at
71.
that car, boys. Hit somebody 61. You got my old number, man. Standing around, boy.
Well, it's definitely safe to say that the line did their job by getting in the way.
Right.
They didn't want to hit nobody, but they got in the way. And every time you got those big bodies your size, all you got to do is get in the way.
Thank you. Coach Cole is trying to get every ounce of time he can to try to make this comeback.
You don't blame them. I mean, if they go for a 2-point conversion here,
well,
recover an onside kick. Right. I mean, you know, hey, this place will start. They'll make some noise up in here.
Everybody is starting to walk out. Is this going to be a Magic City miracle? Is things going to turn around? Is George going to grow an extra 6 inches and get up on level with us?
No, I don't think that'll happen. I think I'm past those days of growing. You even got my producer now jumping in the ears. Ooh, that is right. You are short.
So they're trying to reset the game clock. Looks like they took 3 seconds from Alabama.
So who is our most valuable players here? Am I being a little premature in asking that?
With 55 seconds left, not too premature.
I could have told you 2 touchdowns ago who it was going to be.
And then he added 2 more.
Then he added 2 more. So, you know, that's one thing I like about you Howard guys. Boy, you team up and don't even know which direction you're going in.
Well, they took that touchdown.
It looks like they did because
they took the touchdown.
So they put more time back on the clock, did they not?
They did. It was at 55. They added 15 seconds to the clock. And yet I haven't heard why they've taken the touchdown away. Here's Kennedy. Had to get rid of it quickly. Making the catch of Watson. Watson at the 5. Watson dives, but they're not going to give him the touchdown. He's out of bounds. Yes, they did.
Touchdown. They took one from him, gave the other one back. But Kennedy, how many touchdown passes is that now for Darnell Kennedy?
Called back, including the ones called back.
He's got 4 on the day,
which would give him for the game for the season 26.
Same type of play, a little bit of trickery. Let the defense over pursue, throw something inside, slip a little screen by them, get those guys running in reverse instead of moving forward for you all the time.
So a few of these guys is looking for summer. Say, hey, we beat y'all, we beat y'all.
And here's the all-important 2-point conversion,
which they've had troubles converting on all day long. And here's Kennedy, wide open again, over the middle.
Oh, what a catch!
One-handed catch by Watson.
What a catch.
And he caught it and just dropped it like he's been there before.
And he was running full speed.
Kenny Watson, who prior to that play scores his 3rd touchdown of the game, gets the 2-point conversion and cuts that A&M lead to just 7. Question, what were the most points scored by both teams in the Magic City Classic? And I'll start looking around to some other folks because I know the people in the booth with me aren't helping me out.
Yeah, I'm getting a little hungry, so I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you, I think it's 78 big extra value meals.
B. The answer is 78.
Big value meals, baby. Big.
You always go with the football guy.
Double quarter pounder with shade.
So now you see the way the ball is teed up as they look for the onside kick. Alabama State trailing in this one by 7. If they can get this football back, they do have the firepower to get the football in the end zone.
This is the most exciting play in football.
It has to go at least 10 yards. A&M has their best hand guys out there. And I see a couple of linebackers out there. So.
Lindsey, Ware, a couple of receivers there.
Most exciting play. Watch the collisions and the catch. Trying to psych him up a little
bit. Coach Cole at the top of your screen is almost on the field. He's in an uproar.
Yeah, they haven't started the clock yet, so they can do all this talking. They're really trying to choreograph this out.
Yeah, Coach Cole getting it together.
I think they got Michael Jordan in there trying to get a running start, huh?
Yeah. Back up, son. Back up, boy. Come on. Don't you hit. Come on, boy. Get back.
They're trying to get a running start. Swain's going to go over the top here. Probably the front line's going to wipe out number 83. Number 2 is he's just a sitting duck. You get close up on him right now.
They're probably aiming at him.
Yeah, number 2 is going to get
You ever seen that water boy where he say, I got me a sucker.
Number 2, that's what they look. He just threw his gloves off. He knows he just threw his gloves off.
He getting there. He can feel the heat coming.
Yeah, don't worry. You better just strap it up because they're going to wipe you out.
But that is Jamal Jamal Ware, who has been tough all ball game long.
Yeah, but Nunn is trying to cut him off. So I say, I'm second to Nunn. I get the ball.
That'd be something else if they got it.
I hope this kicker do it right so we can continue this game.
You want to be here another what?
Another 2-3 hours. I love it.
Okay.
2-3 hours.
We like being together.
So Lefevre will attempt the onside kick.
Uh-oh, they may go the other side.
They may go the other side.
Look at this.
They may go the other side.
No. They got too many people over here. They got to be. I still say they're going to wipe out
They may go the other side, man.
We may need to close up a number 2. I just feel sorry for that guy right now. It's prediction. I make predictions. Unlike George, I go out on the record of what I think.
The coach panicking call.
Are you still sweating me about my #1 team?
Coach Cole is pulling him over to the side, talking to him. He froze his own player, Lefevre, on his own deal.
Here we go. They're blowing the whistle. We're gonna get some action here in a minute. They gave number 2 all types of time to think about it. I don't know.
The big screen say pour on the heat.
It's like the old Heinz 57. Anticipation. Here we go.
We'll see. Gotta go at least 10 yards.
Oh,
at least 10 yards.
Number 2 did the Olay.
Able to recover the onside kick is Alabama A&M. And now all they have to do is run out the clock for the win.
I'm not going with
who do you like?
I'm going with Brandon Reed because he had the 1-800 connect big play of the game.
Yes, he did.
To turn this thing around.
Well, if I score 4 touchdowns in the game, you don't give it to me. Like we say back where I grew up in
defense
LA,
is a part of this
fight.
too. Defense is a part of this thing too.
Definitely.
Yes, it is. As we approach 20 seconds left, this will probably be the last play of the football game. So again, Alabama A&M needed to win to keep this race going, and they got it. And with this victory, they improved to 3-1 in the Eastern Division of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Alabama State drops to 4-1. So congratulations to Ron Cooper and his troops. Cooper improves his career mark to 16-14 at Alabama A&M and keeps things going. Real quickly, final comments, gentlemen. Anything?
Love it. Curtis Darnell, MVP.
Birmingham, Alabama had a great time. It's a great game.
Okay. For Jay Walker, Nate Newton, Joe Clare, I'm George Johnson. Again, we want to thank Eric Moore, our statistician here in the booth. Once again, Alabama A&M wins this one 34-27, and we are out. Peace. Today's Black College Football Classic has been brought to you